Salutations, my fellow dandies. It's me, Jack Dandy, and we are back in Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. And I remembered that I have these arms, because although I don't like, I don't know where to put, about there, that looks alright. Because I haven't been streaming with my VTube model on for a little while, I kind of forgot that I had these. And I was setting up today and I went, oh yeah, I got my triple triad cards for FF14. So here we go, I've got my card, I'm ready for more triple triad. Yes, it is Final Fantasy XIV Wednesday, and I have a headache, so it might be a short one, but I really wanted to play more Final Fantasy XIV. I was sat there going, I got a headache, maybe I'll cancel, and I went, no, I want to play from Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know why, I've been really in the mood for Final Fantasy XIV the last couple of weeks. I even played a little bit off stream. Can you imagine? I started doing some of the, what did I do? I started doing some of the, Heavenswood, content. Where you had to, fix the place, but it's not broken anymore because the 2 expansions went by. It's fixed now, but now you're just kind of contributing. But then there's all crafter stuff, and I realised, oh, I don't have any crafter gear that is anywhere near appropriately leveled because I gave it all to my, servant thing. Salutations, Stratus. Yes, Firmament. That was it. Because I want to get the emotes from Firmament. I think there might be some triple triad cards in there as well. But mostly I wanted the emotes from there. So I was hoping it was just like a thing I could just donate stuff to. But no, you got to do crafting. So I really should like get one of my crafting classes like back up to speed. But I need to get some cash to do that. So I can buy some like level 90 gear. Because I've got... I don't know why I'm doing this pose, by the way. I just had to do something for the thumbnail. I've got... Yeah, like I've got level 89 Botanist. In fact, I'm really close to maxing that out. That might be my... Imagine if Botanist is my first level 90. It actually is entirely possible that it will be. I'm very close to maxing that out. I haven't done any botany in over a year, easily. But yeah, like, Culinarian, I should probably, like, get a set of Culinarian clothes so that I can actually do some cooking. I don't have any clothes that are anywhere near level 77, so when it comes to, like, crafting stuff, I'm completely just under-equipped, and, yeah. And I don't have enough money to buy decent gear. Yeah. I'd love to do more crafting stuff, but I've kind of screwed myself a little bit. Anyway, it's Final Fantasy XIV. We've made it to Garlemald. We've made the treacherous approach, to Garlemald. We set up base camp at Broken Glass. That's right, because of the ice. And I'm just kind of excited to see kind of what we do now that we're here. Probably need Minor 2 for Firmament. Oh, I don't even have Minor. I could do Botany because you can do all 3 of them, can't you? You can do fishing. They accept everything, so I could do some Botany. I could just get my some level 90 Botany equipment and then go and do Botany stuff. That would probably be... And that would lead in... The reason I did pick up Botany in the first place is because I wanted it to lead into Culinarian. But then I have to get 2 sets of gear. Crafting in this game is expensive. I mean, it's a good way to make money too, but it's expensive. It's like starting a business. For crafting, you need resources for mining. Not for cooking. I'm not gonna... I can't make a sandwich out of... Can I make a sandwich out of steel? Is that a thing? Maybe it's a Limsa delicacy. I genuinely don't know. I haven't been doing the cooking. Salt. Yes, that is a mineral that you use in cooking. You're right. That is a good point. Well made. I don't want to start a whole new. Well, it's something I'll look into. I'm more likely to just go off and do sort of like Eureka stuff, but I really want to eat bread and eat onigiri emotes and eat apple. I want all the food emotes. I just like having all the food emotes. I got the pizza one. I'm looking forward to getting Eat Taco in when Dawn Trail comes out, because that's got to be one, right? Eat Taco and I'm surprised they haven't made an Eat Burger one. I thought they given like ooh, nice. Given the like food cutscene a couple of weeks back, I thought Eat Cookie and Eat Burger would be two emotes in Endwalker, but apparently not. Anyway, let's crack on, because I wanna make some progress. What ho, chums? Been given something to do, have you? As it happens, I too have been ordered to make myself useful. Sounds like a rather tall order, or Alice say with the burn on Emmeline. Since you ask, we're to scour the Eblan Rhine for survivors. What? Wander around ice fields on the off chance you'll find someone? You'd take forever to finish the job. Without the benefit of my expertise, or more specifically, my telescope. Come, friends, I know just the spot to begin our search. Oh, I do like Emmeline now. He's had quite a nice arc. I'll probably regret this, but we may as well humour him. I mean, I say that he hasn't shown up in like 2 expansions, but then, you know, he hasn't regressed from wanting to improve himself, so I suppose that's something. You go in here? No. Might not need it, I don't remember. I always level all DL, DH together, so I don't remember. It's so expensive. Like, I get that you're supposed to sell the stuff you craft so you can then afford the gear to make the other stuff. And it's not like you need entirely different sets of... It's a big sheep! Of it, boss. Oh, I'm gonna grab that when I become a Beastmaster. I mean, it's not like you need to have, like, individual sets of armor for every single crafting thing. Like, there's some overlap, but still. What you got? It's cheaper to level up all of them together than level them all one at a time. I can see that. I can see that, because, like, materials you gather from one feed into the other one. So you do a load of gathering, then you do a load of crafting, and then you make gear to improve your gear so that you can then gather more stuff, so you can then craft more stuff, and you just kind of rotate through all of the classes like that. I can see that. Yeah, and you can craft your own gear too. I do want to put some points into like leatherworking, so I can, because there's some of the clothes I see people wearing, and I'm like, oh, I want that, and then I look it up, and it's like, oh, you have to craft it, and then you try and buy it on the board, and someone's like, yeah, no, it's only 150,000 gil, and it's like, cool, great, thanks, cool, great, thanks. I spy with my little telescope a massive sheep thing, or maybe it's a cow. Not what we're after, either way. Is that an ether current? Oh no, just a wind sprite. That is a very real line of dialogue, because I did both of those things on the way over to Emmeline. Other than that, it's all snow, snow, snow. But lo, what do I see over yon hillock? There's no mistaking it. That's a girl. It's like Johnny Bravo. It's just I sense a woman nearby. A survivor? Show me. Over there, behind the tree. It looks like she's running away from something, though surely not us. She wouldn't even know we're here unless she had a telescope like mine. She has a telescope like mine. All I can tell is that she's wearing a pale green dress. A rather fetching one at that. She'll be long gone by the time we get anywhere near, but we should be able to follow her footprints. I'll let Lucia know where you're heading. Oh, and take these warming tinctures with you. She just gives us all a brandy. Poor girl must be chilled to the bone, if not on the verge of freezing to death. That's actually very thoughtful, thank you. But won't you need some for yourself? No, I'll be fine. As a man of chivalry, my honor demands I do no less. Unless we forget, the very reason we are here is to protect those in need. Now go, and Godspeed. Ah, Emmeline. Coming in clutch. He's turned himself around from when he first showed up. 100,000 gil is considered cheap, to be honest. 100,000 is more money than I've ever had at any point in this game. Except for the 2 points when I bought gil from the Square store. When it was on sale. When the Red Mage... like... a Red Mage Journey, or whatever they're called, packs were cheap, and they came with 500,000 gil each. And then I used some of that to buy a house, to buy the flat that I own. Trail of Fresh Footprints leads east. That's that way. Oh, I can see the sparkling thing. I don't know why I'm bothering even trying to look at my compass. I have outfits to sell for 2 million each piece of clothing, so like 10 million a set. Yeah, see, that does seem to be like where the money is in crafting. So, maybe I'll use the firmament as a way to level up my crafting stuff then. These footprints appear to be the same as those you saw previously, and they lead towards the building. Okay, did I need to follow the footprints when Alice and Alphinaud were already here? We're getting closer, I'm sure of it. At first, we thought she'd gone inside the building, but the door doesn't look to have been opened in some time. She might still be nearby, so we'll keep looking around here. Then again, it's also possible that she ran right past this place. Would you mind searching up ahead? We're going to stay here and stare at these boxes in case something happens, you know? You never know with boxes. Sometimes things happen with boxes, and when you least expect it. Oh, I'm very excited for Friday, because that Power World game finally comes out. I watched Callie playing it for a little bit earlier today, and oh, it looks fun. I want to shoot Pokemon with an AK. That is a rather fetching green dress. The girl in the green dress anxiously surveys her surroundings. Were we to call out to her from this distance, it might attract wild beasts to your location. It'd be safe to get closer first, but you must do so without drawing her attention. Oh yes, this is the best way to show that I mean no harm. I should sneak up behind her. Follow the girl from a safe distance. The objective will end in failure if you are noticed. Make use of cover such as rocks to approach without being seen. Similarly, the objective will also end in failure if you fall too far behind. Should you fail to complete the objective, you may try again by returning to the designated location. Okay, well, I'm guessing this is the first rock I can hide behind, so I'm just going to run straight at this rock. I've tailed people in Judgment and in Grand Theft Auto. This is what you do. The thing I love about games like this, though, when you're doing stuff like this, is that from my point of view, I'm just staring at a rock. Like, there is absolutely no way that my character would know that she's turned around. I want to run out that tree, but there we go, this is safe. Like, again, yeah, I'm just staring at a tree. Hey, salutations, Frost. My friend offers interior design for people's houses, and she makes bank doing that. That I can also understand, especially if she provides the furniture. Because I'd love to decorate my flat properly, and not just in like the random shit I've picked up. Like I've got a table and a chair, and a bed. Although I may have deleted the bed, but it's mostly just pictures and stuff that I've either bought on the Square store or I've gotten from various different events adorning the walls, and it looks very mishmash. So yeah, I would like to make some furniture, but actually sitting down and crafting the furniture is well, it's a time sink. But you know, maybe if I do the firmament stuff, I'll have some spare furniture I can use, and I can finally decorate my flat. And then maybe I'll get enough money I can buy a house when Dawn Trail releases. Oh, so many possibilities. Oh, dang it! That is annoying. I lost focus for a second. She saw me. Yeah, she had me help her one day move 80 million between characters. Are you sure she wasn't money laundering? She's just not into money laundering. That's good money as well, though. Because I've stolen 80 million gil from the servers, and I need to move it between characters so they can't trace it. You know, I didn't ask, because I was. That's actually, yeah. You don't want to let on more than you know, more than you know. Plausible deniability and all that. Okay. Let's do this exciting quest again. Like trail quests like this, where you're like, sorry, tail quests, I guess I should say. You're not trailing them, you're tailing them. Where you tail a character, have been in video games for quite a long time. I don't think they've ever been fun. I don't think this has ever been entertaining. Like Judgment, Judgment did them so often. They were so boring in Judgment. I hated them. Like, it made sense for them to be in Judgment because you were playing as a PI. And they at least tried to make them interesting by giving you, like, other things to do. But it did just boil down to doing this. Like, running ahead and hiding behind shit until they turned around and then carried on. And it's like, well, no, escort missions can sometimes be fun, depending on the character. I mean, Resident Evil 4 is one big escort mission, and that's a fun game. But this isn't good. I feel like I could just rugby tackle her. Like, I'm probably stronger than her. I'm definitely faster. I could just run and tackle her and just be like, right, don't panic. I know I'm a stranger, and I've just rugby tackled you to the ground in a snowy field, but I promise I'm good. Right, so this is where I ballsed up last time, because she turned around. Start moving, because I know you're not looking at me. There we go. See, whenever they do these tailing minigames, they do always do, like, bits like that where they try and catch you out by making the character stop. Like, turn around and then go, and then immediately stop and turn around again. And it's like, that's not fun, that's just irritating, because they've got to redo the whole friggin' thing. It's like when you're tailing people in cars as well, and you've got a bar that's like, oh, don't go too close or too far. And then the car will, like, suddenly speed up and then stop suddenly, and you slam into the back of them. Phew, still in one piece. Hello, I couldn't help but notice you fleeing for your life across that snowy field. Like, there's no cool way to just like, hello, just happen to be walking past. Who are you? Stay back. This house is packed with explosives. Take another step and I'll blow this place sky high. Oh. Please wait, we just want to talk. I'm Alphinaud. This is my sister Alice, and our good friend Jack. We have no intention of hurting or taking anything from you or anyone else. I give you my word. We and our comrades have come to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. Aid? You savages are the ones responsible for all this. You did this to us. We didn't, I promise you. One of the other reasons we came was to find out what happened here, in fact. The Telophoroi are the ones to blame. They're the ones who laid waste to Garlemald, and they won't stop until they destroyed the entire world. They're the enemy, our enemy. On our way, we encountered some Imperial soldiers who have been made their thralls. Those poor souls are now in our care, and we're striving to cure them of their affliction. As an uncle, I can confirm beating up children is a good way to gain their trust, right? You know, assert dominance. I should have just T-posed at her. You're the first person we've met who wasn't already enslaved. How were you able to escape the Telophoroi's influence? Are there any others like you? I'm sorry, I don't mean to overwhelm you. Let's start with introductions. Can you tell me your name? No. My name's Lucinia. As for how I've managed to stay sane, I've been asking myself the same question. Ever since that night and the roar, that terrible roar, and then the screams. I was screaming too, I think. I'm not sure, I can't remember. Then came the silence. Everything was still. It was like waking up from a nightmare. I thought that maybe the fighting had stopped, so I stepped outside. If your hells are real, I saw one that day. That's a raw line. I ran past friends, people I've known all my life, eyes vacant, dead, staring at the sky. Others were mad and violent. I saw them struggle with soldiers, but didn't stay to watch. I fled as far as my legs would take me. Oh, so maybe she's got the echo. Do you have family here? Is this their home? No, this is Victor's Spoils, a mansion for retired soldiers. Or it was, but now me and a few others are borrowing it. As for the explosives, I was making that up. I just wanted to keep everyone else safe, and I didn't know if you were... The truth is, our supplies are running low. You said you were here to help. Can you? Of course. Whatever assistance we can provide, we will. Thank you. I'd better tell the others first, though. Wait here. Did we bring any food? I guess we brought some... I guess we must have brought some food. We had all those carriages. They must be carrying something. This is everyone. Lucinia says you can be trusted, but these are desperate times. We'd be fools to let foreign troops into our home. Having said that, well, you provide us with a means of heating the place as a sign of goodwill. Perhaps we could take your word. If that is too much to ask, then leave us be. Time to put my firewood gathering skills to use. Could you provide the spark with a little magic, Alice? Oh yeah, Garleans can't use magic, can they? I remember now. We'll have a fire burning in no time. May we build it under that gazebo? The what? Oh, you mean the boa? Yes, do as you will. That's why they have Magitech armor. See, I pay attention sometimes. Awkward. Just... Well, I'm gonna go and see how they're getting on with the fire, I guess. So I guess just some people are just, like, naturally immune to tempering. Sorry, I'm still finding it hard to come to terms with all that's happened. Now that you're here, though, I'm hoping things might change for the better. You know, I've worked up quite a sweat from all that running about, so I'll leave space around the fire for others. That's dangerous in the cold. You could freeze to death. As you can tell, they're in a far worse state than me. We were planning to look for somewhere warmer or with more food, but they're not going anywhere until we nurse them back to health, which I don't know how to do. Is there anything you can do to help them? I have Vericure. Sure. Let's see what I can whip up. Wow, what a delightful music you have here in Garlemald. I can treat their frostbite and their wounds, but it would take time for the fire to do its work. Now would be a good occasion to make use of Emma Lane's tinctures, the ones that can warm the body from the inside out. Would you make sure everyone gets one? Numbness is beginning to subside, though I suspect once the fire dies it will return with a vengeance. There you go. Warming tincture? I've never heard of such a thing. No harm in trying. But tell me, have you heard aught of the city? Though calling it now, that seems absurd after what's happened. It's nothing but ruins now. A few buildings still stand and offer no more than meagre protection from wind and snow. Food production, water purification. The Magitech that sustained us has come to a grinding halt. What machina that remains operational cannot be run for lack of ceruleum. Of course, Cerulia Ingens is full of the stuff, for all the good it does us. No one here knows the first thing about extraction or refinement. Can you see the city from here? No. No. All is well, yes, never better. Oh, what sweet libation is this? Is it poison by any chance? Haha, 'twas a joke. Haha, if I laugh, 'tis that I may not weep. So said the poet. And alas, my tears would freeze on my cheeks ere they fell. We are blessed, damned, to bear witness to the fall of the great empire. All our brethren lie dead, or live on as puppets of flesh. First came the war, then came the roar. When morning came, Garlemald was no more. In the cacophony of... Do we need to save this guy? In the cacophony of gunfire, explosions and screams was our beloved capital razed to the ground. From the rubble... Stay out of the fire. From the rubble rose the dishevelled remnants, their lavish finery caked in ash as they shuffled mindlessly towards the palace, each bearing a fragment of stone or metal, an offering perhaps to the architect of our destruction. A hopeful few tried to reason with the deranged, only to be beaten for their kindness. But I knew better than to plead with the horde. I fled with my health, if not my conscience preserved. Now I await with my fellow cowards for our final judgment. Alright, cool. So you've got at least staying optimistic. What do you want? Have a tincture. A tincture. May as well drink it, I suppose. Oh, this one triggered a cutscene. It's a radio. You don't have them where you come from, I take it. We use them to listen to messages sent by others, even over great distances. How do we not have radios if we have mobile phones? Different types, but this model is by far the most popular. made with quality components crafted with the finest ore, sourced from Locus Aminus, that is. Not all that useful since the capital fell into ruin. The people at the broadcasting station must have either fled or ended up like all the others, because all we've been hearing is the same music being played over and over again. This is just, what's his Chops' playlist. He's just got your Spotify account linked up. Home beyond the horizon. An ode to the brave men and women sent to reclaim our ancestral homeland of Locus Aminus. We may have founded an empire in these frozen wastes, but we always hoped to take back what was once ours. It is a solemn reminder that though we must suffer great hardship, better days will surely come. Despite everything, I believe that Emperor Varys yet lives. And that he speaks to us through our radios. I'll be honest, I also kind of hope that Emperor Varys lives, because what a disappointing character for him to have just died like that. Like, he did nothing. It was a cunning strategy, faking his murder. He must have foreseen this catastrophe and chosen to conceal himself, that he may one day make his triumphant return. Yes, I'm sure of it. Emperor Varys would not be defeated so easily. Like, I met the guy once, I guess, and then he died off screen. He didn't even have a cool... Like, he didn't even transform into a dude in a boss fight or anything, or go Super Saiyan like Gaius. What's that? So this is what you gave the others? Thank you, I'll save it for later. Actually, I have a few things to ask you. Are you part of the group staying in Leterum? I saw Legatus Virgilia's troops heading towards the Magna Glacius. No, it's not Glacius, is it? It's Glacius? They said it in dialogue last time. Magna Glacies. Glacies? I think it's Glacies. A few days ago. Are they the ones you encountered? We beat up someone. I wanted the Warrior of Light to be an old dude with a funny hat. Yeah, I met him like one time. Yeah, we spoke to him in like a round table discussion. He seemed quite imposing, and then he just went away and died. Like, it's just like, what a disappointing character. Cat Broken Glass, you call it. And Virgilia and her men are all there now. But then, you know, if he does come back, he wouldn't be the first Garlean who survived dying. So, how did you reach the Magna Glacies? Glacies? God damn, I wish I remembered how this was pronounced. We'll just go with I know it's not Glacies, because that's how I thought it was pronounced, and then it wasn't. We'll go with Glacius. How did you reach the Magna Glacius? Did you cross the mountains on foot? Airships. Then there might be a way to... Lucinia, where is everyone? Is something the matter? I mean, there's definitely someone... A voice from inside, you say? Who must be imagining things? Everyone's out here. Perhaps a baby Olmsty has found its way into the house. It wouldn't be the first time. Without the soldiers to scare them off, wild animals have been roaming closer to the settlements. Some have been known to attack people too. I have just had an idea. If you and yours are strong enough to defeat a Legatus, then surely a few beasts shouldn't pose a threat. If you've a mind to continue helping us, perhaps you could head to the other side of the lake. There's a small group of tappers living there, people whose job was to extract ceruleum. They still do, from what we can tell. I've only tried asking if they would share their fuel with us, but they're not willing to give it away. They want food in exchange, lots of food, and that's something we don't have and can't get on our own. On top of that, to even reach their den, we'd have to make our way past all those creatures. Would you be willing to go in our place? We only need enough ceruleum to last until the others are strong enough to travel to your camp. If the offer still stands, that is. Oh, and I don't expect you to give up your own supplies, but there might be another way to pay the tappers. You best watch out for baby Elmasties while we're away. Yes, of course. If I see any, I'll be sure to shoo them away. To reach Tapper's Den, you'll have to cross the lake. The ice is thick enough to support a person's weight, but if you'd rather not take the risk, you need to take the long way round. Finding the entrance can be tricky too, so it's easy to just look for someone standing guard outside. However you decide to head there, please be careful. I will A to B it, as always. I'll just pick a direction and run in a straight line. It's never done me wrong, apart from that one time it got me killed. It's probably more than one time. It's a couple of times, but it's mostly been fine. So long as an enemy doesn't start a fight with me just as I jump off a cliff, yeah, I'm golden. So yeah, I wonder why she's hiding what is clearly like an old woman or man in there. Well, I think I can see the entrance. Oh, she's like, the lake's frozen, but it's thick enough to support a person. It's like, yeah, it's also thick enough to support these giant Yeti monsters. So I think it's probably safe for me to run across, if I'm honest. It's fine. If the ice breaks, I'll just swim. Ilsa, Bardi, and Tursus. Oh, I'm so excited for Beastmaster. I just see all these cool monsters roaming the fields, and I'm like, oh, I want to master you. I'm gonna put you in my Final Fantasy Pokeball. My Beast Ball. No, that's also a Pokeball. That's also a type of Pokeball. My, Master... No, that's also a type of Pokeball. I guess Beastmaster Ball isn't a thing. Oh, these guys are standing guard. There's no way they'd let me in. Hello! Don't mind me. How did all of you avoid being, sundered? Tempered, not sundered. That's a different thing. Who goes there? How did you find us? What do you mean I stand out like a sore thumb? If the purebloods over at Victor's spoilers hadn't given away our location, you'd have never found us. Those stuck-up arseholes. Thought they could come waltzing here, demanded cerulean with nothing to offer in return. Looks like the boot's on the other foot now the capital's gone to shite. So they've resorted to sending you to negotiate. I know your game, sellsword. If you think we'll give you into intimidation, they've got another thing coming. Oh. I have to beat these men up. Fair enough. You have bitten off a lot more than you can chew here, my burly tapper friend. Unless you're a literal god. Let's just say this isn't my first time beating up miners. Anyway, those two are dead. There you are. I was about to say. Just after you left, Licinia asked me to go and catch up with you, in case you needed a hand. Someone must have let slip that I have a little experience in transporting barrels of ceruleum. Do you? So this is Tapper's Den. Well then, after you. Team Red Mage will take care of this. Who are you? What happened to the guards? They're dead. I killed them. I regret nothing. Who was the rebels here to save the people of Garlemald? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why in the hells would you pass up this chance to put those Imperial bastards to the sword? Let me guess. None of you are Garlean. You were brought here from other lands? Gir Albania, Yanxia, Bojja, Dalmasca, to name but a few. Some dragged against our wills, others fed bollocks about a better life. all put to work extracting ceruleum. All given the esteemed title of Ahn, placing us firmly at the bottom rung of the ladder. But the old hierarchy means nothing in New Garlemald, says we. Now, the only thing that's escaped more or less unscathed is cerulean ingots, still sustaining us, even with our paymasters out of the picture. We hear you're experts in drawing up ceruleum from the bottom of the lake, but how can you do that if it's frozen over? Ah, wouldn't you like to know? Trade secrets, I'm afraid. At any rate, it's not as if ceruleum is used for much these days, what with the city in ruins. We take enough to power our heaters and save the surplus for later. And though it helps stave off the cold, it does sod all about our hunger unless we can trade it away. Speaking of which, be sure to tell your contingent we've got ceruleum by the barrelful. If they're interested, we'll exchange for whatever provisions they're willing to spare. We can certainly ask, but if you're all free to go now, why carry on living here? Free to go? Go where? Even if we managed to get back to our homelands, there'd be nothing left for us thanks to the Empire, and the knowledge and skills we acquired working here would be practically useless outside of Garlemald. So we're staying for the time being. As long as there's a need for ceruleum, we'll find a way to get by, even if Garlemald as we knew it's gone for good. Gone for good? It's a fair point. It's like, I know how to do a thing, and that thing isn't required at home. I am apparently leaning on my analog stick. Okay, it's not like they've got airships to get them home, so it probably is safer just to stay here. Regardless of what else the Bard contingent does for the people of Garlemald, the Empire itself is already a thing of the past. For many, that would be a cause for celebration, while for others, their whole way of life would have been turned upside down. After all the atrocities committed in the Empire's name, perhaps it is for the best that it is consigned to history. But what of the ordinary people, their lives, their stories? Should they be forgotten too? I suppose there'll be plenty of time to ponder that later. For now, let's see about getting some ceruleum. Ah, yes, free trousers. I really like the chest piece from this set, and it's unfortunate I had to cover it up immediately with this coat. Great, massive change. So, you've come seeking ceruleum, have you? What? Those purebloods up at Victor Spoils sent you? To turn to their enemies for help? That's been more desperate than I thought. Then again, Licinia's got a little sister to think about. A sister? But we only saw Licinia and 3 men. Well, it's possible she died from whatever was ailing her. If she needed treatment, I doubt there'd be any way to get her around here. I may have refused Licinia at first, thinking she'd come back with something to exchange, but I can spare them a bottle's worth of ceruleum. Consider it a reward for introducing me to the rest of your contingent. Be sure to send them our way, you hear? I can't for the life of me think why Licinia would keep her sister a secret from us, but we can ask about that after we've delivered this ceruleum. Come on, let's hurry back. Oh, maybe her sister's tempered or something, and she's like got her locked in the cupboard. Leave me alone, you Ilsabardian Tursus. I'll come back for you later with my Beastmaster balls and make short work of you then. God, imagine if they just go like full steam with the Beastmaster and you can just catch every single mob in the game that exists in the open world. Like, genuinely, I think when Dawn Trail comes out, because I same as when Endwalker came out, I probably will take like a couple weeks break just to get past the inevitable huge lobby queues. Plus, there's no point in me streaming Dawn Trail for the first couple of weeks it comes out, because everyone will be playing it, and you know you won't want to watch someone else play it before you've played it. So I might use those couple of weeks just to just to play Beastmaster. This isn't right. It's too quiet. I would have thought Alphinaud would still be treating them by the fire, but they are nowhere to be seen. I'll look inside the house while you search outside. They can't have gone far. Do you know, it's weird. This is kind of... I mean, it's not. But they it is kind of framed as like a zombie story, this like Garlemald section. Where like everyone else has been turned and people are like... It's basically like a post-apocalyptic zombie story. Oh, hello. Why are you hiding back here? They asked me to help carry supplies. When I followed them back here, they attacked me. Caught me off guard, forced me to defend myself. I fear they fared rather worse than me. You can't fool us. We know what you're about. Vultures, that's what you are. Waiting in the wings for us to show weakness, then in you swoop. Here to help, what a rot. All a ploy to make us lower our guard. Let you in, put ourselves at your mercy, put us in chains, steal our lands, get your revenge. Look, we are here to help you, and I will beat you bloody to prove it. You're wrong. That's not what any of us want. Save the arguments for later. We've got bigger problems. I found empty medicine bottles and a bed that was still warm. It's true. Licinia was hiding her sick sister inside the house. But now there's no sign of either of them. Where are they? Where did they go? Salutations, Briar. I just arrived and Alfie's already hurt. What the fuck did you do? I left him alone for like 5 seconds, and then he beat up some sick people. Away from you and yours. And if you think I'll tell you you're a fool, I'll never give up my people. We're trying to help them, you idiot. Her sister's ill. The empty bottles prove it. So the medicine ran out, or she put it in her pockets to make it easier to carry. Or to avoid the sound of clinking glass. There are beasts everywhere. How could you let them go alone? To protect them from you. Look, I will beat the tar out of you to prove that we are not your enemy. It's the only thing I know how. You invade our homeland, taint it with the same sorcery used to slay our countrymen. A Garlean should sooner die than suffer the insult. You know, you can't leave him alone. He bores very easily. I'm sure the sick people had it coming. I mean, they definitely... You know, I could definitely understand beating them up. I definitely would have done the same thing if I was in Alphinaud's shoes. Although I wouldn't have allowed myself to get hurt, because I'm much, much stronger. They're explored brat politicians, someone to beat up homeless dudes. Yeah! Alphinaud knows when's the time for violence and when's the time for conversation. And hope, you know, in paranoid sick people, that's the time for violence. Better for them to flee, keep their purity intact, than be corrupted by your vile magics. We were waiting for a chance to free them since the moment you arrived. This is getting us nowhere. I cannot say how Licinia and her sister will react when we find them, but find them we must. Go on without me, both of you. I first need to tend to my injuries, and theirs. I will join you in the search after. Alright, be careful. We'll do our best to find them quickly. There's only one path out of here, so that's where we'll start. You'd think I would, if there's only one path out of here, I would have seen them on my way in, but these are stupid. bloody paranoid propaganda. Addled homeless people. That's the best insult I could think of. I refuse to say a bad word about my son Alfie. Look, he's fine. I mean, he did beat them up. It's just, I guess they got a lucky hit on him. 2 fresh sets of fresh footprints. Young women, judging by the size. This is definitely them. Come on. Why were they walking so far apart from each other? Like, if she's sick, surely she should be like holding her hand, or I don't know, maybe even carrying on her back, like piggyback style. Well, my sister's sick. I want to help her, but I also don't want to catch what she's got. So, good social distancing. Keep at least 2 meters between us, please. Thank you. Let's say you're fast. Trail stops at the frozen lake. Perhaps they chose this route so not to leave footprints. I can't think of any other reason. Look at this place, it's crawling with beasts, and I can only imagine how hard it must be for her ailing sister to cross the ice. We could really do with Alphinaud's help, but we can't afford to wait for him. Let's split up and look for clues. Oh. That is a big search area. Okay. Well, let's hope there's a sparkly thing I can click on. Yep, there's a sparkly thing. You run up and yell, "You're homeless because you voted against Brexit, commoner," and then run away, leave them confused. Ah, the Tory approach. The empty bottle smells faintly of alcohol. The thin coating of dirt indicates it has been here for some time and is unlikely to have any connection to Licinia or her sister. Ah, this is just some wino in the snow, drinking amongst the Tursuses. Tursi? Tursuses. I need another sparkly. The fuck is... Oh, it's that Rovergrown Rose. Tortoises. See, this is the sort of thing they should explain in the Encyclopedia Eorzea. I was reading when the new one came out. I've joined a fate. I don't need to do that. That's not true. I do need to do some fates eventually, but not right now. Half-buried piece of paper. The white half buried in the snow appears to have been a flyer for a theatre group. The runner show's advertised has long since ended. Okay, good. Good. Well, we're narrowing it down. Yeah, when the new Encyclopedia Eorzea came out, I did see some people post some really interesting facts from it, like stuff that we just didn't know about before. And for the life of me, I can't remember a single one of them. I remember reading them and thinking, oh, that's interesting. I'll remember that, because it's pertinent. I feel like I don't remember any of them now. I read like 20 of them. And there's some really interesting information in there about like bits and bobs of just like different characters and different races and things that... Ooh, fresh blood. Excellent. This is gonna be it. The blood staining the snow appears to be fresh. Judging by the amount, the victim may have been severely wounded. The trail of blood leads southeast. This way. You remember if it was Triple Triad lore? I would have done. Yeah, there was. I don't remember reading anything about Triple Triad. Which might. I not to say there wasn't anything in the Encyclopedia Eorzea about Triple Triad. I think it's Volume 3, the newest one. Yeah, not to say that there isn't anything about Triple Triad, but maybe people just don't care about Triple Triad as much as I do. Oh, hey, Citralis. You're in Among Us when you walk into a room and you find someone standing over a corpse. This does not look good for you. I think we may need to vote you out. The two bodies are already cold. Oh. I swear I found them like that. Sure, sure. I mean, I do have some Phoenix Downs on me, but they're quite expensive.
Blood trail. We found one. They were attacked.
Oh no, I'm gonna be the sus one.
No. Why wouldn't they?
So, what beast would attack them and then not eat them?
Safer to brave the wilds than trust in our magic.
Oh, Alphinaud is gonna beat the tar out of those homeless people.
We should have... I should have... We can't leave them like this. We have to take them home.
What if we're only making it worse?
Maybe we don't belong here, but neither do they. Not out here in the wind and the cold.
Again, it's a good thing that no
I
one
heard the
happened
story
upon us.
about Varus's voice from beyond the grave.
It's a good thing that no one happened upon us, like digging these graves and burying them, because that absolutely wouldn't have helped our case at all.
Of course, I didn't believe it. But Licinia and her sister did. Perhaps there is something to the tale after all. I want to understand. So I'm going to borrow this for a while, if that's all right. You had every reason not to trust us. We came as trespassers, invaders. But I pray that in time, we will be more than that to you. That we will find a way to help your loved ones. And see that no more children are left to freeze alone in the snow.
Yes, let's bury them in shallow graves in an area filled with beasts that eat meat. This is why your father kicked you out. Look, I mean, whatever killed them didn't eat them, so... I mean, whatever beasts there are in this area are clearly picky eaters, so maybe it's okay. Or maybe they just don't eat frozen food. I don't know. Okay, Citralis, really not helping your case at all. Just stop. Yeah, I didn't do this. There must have been something we could have done, but what? Should we have never come here? Would they still be alive if we hadn't? Oh well. You can't help some people. Hey, shoes! We've already caused enough harm here. Let us return to the camp before we cause any more. For those inside the house, we should send someone to take care of them. Someone who isn't us. What we can do for now is make our report to Lucia, and do everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger here no more. Come. You are a suspicious bird, man. I'm just as sad about their deaths as everyone else. Yeah, tell it to the judge. Tell it to the airlock. Oh wait, can I fast travel? It's fine. We'll make a triple triad card out of the two of them, and then immortalize them that way. It's what they would have wanted. You'll have to catch me, suckers. So he comes up, drives by catching his luxury sedan. Alice and Alphinaud tell me they finished their preliminary search for survivors, but refrained from saying much more than that. Clearly, they're reluctant to provide details. Might I ask for your account? Yeah, we done screwed the pooch, Lucia.
Thank you for your report. We shall inform the troops of these developments, and instruct them to proceed with the utmost caution should they encounter any survivors.
We done did a fucky-wucky indeed.
Allow me to go and speak with the ones at the victor's spoils. They may be more willing to listen to a fellow Garlean and accept our offer of assistance.
Yeah, in hindsight, we should have sent the Guardian people in our team out to look for survivors for that very reason. Like, in hindsight, us going was a terrible idea.
I pray you are right. And though I am loath to burden you any further, should there be an appropriate occasion to speak of Licinia and her sister, please do so.
I am sorry to have put you through this.
It's always interesting. Yeah, okay, Maxima is cool. It is always interesting, like, some characters that get introduced, and you think, oh, these characters will just be, like, throwaway characters that will probably, you know, never be mentioned again after this expansion, after this, like, side quests or series of quests. And then it turns out they're, like, incredibly important characters for the rest of the, for, like, the entire rest of the game. Like, Maxima. Absolutely wouldn't have guessed that Maxima would be important past, like, his series of side quests in the post-Stormblood DLC.
My distress is nothing compared to their suffering. So tell me, what else have we learned?
As you may have already heard, we have succeeded in curing the members of the Popularis, Maxima identified. They have provided us with some intriguing insights into the current state of Garlemald.
So they're willing to trust us.
The assassination of Emperor Varus was the catalyst for the civil war. Nerva declared his claim to the throne, and his opponents refused to recognize it. Fighting broke out in the capital, where Nerva's Third Legion clashed with the First, who remained loyal to Varus even after his death.
This might be a stupid question. Who the fuck's Nerva?
Of course, even Imperial warmongers would balk at the idea of turning their shining city into a battleground. Like burning down the wood to spite the wasps. Neither side would be so mad.
The way Ali relaxes to literally everything. She listened to that emo song. Tonight will be the night that I'll fall for you. Over again. Don't make me change my mind. I mean, you're making a music reference to me. I'll take your word for it. That's a song that exists. You could literally just say anything, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that song. Yeah. I don't know."
Unless something or someone inflamed their animosity to such an extent that they could not help but act against their better judgment.
It brings to mind events at the Gimlet Dark, does it not? The Emperor's sudden withdrawal from the front lines, specifically.
It's Secondhand Serenade. Did you not go through an emo phase? No. I had a Spice Girl phase where I'd listen to the Spice Girls, but even then, not much. I like that one song from My Chemical Romance, if that counts. But no, I was too busy just playing video games and, you know, watching, like, Pokemon and... yeah, I was too busy to be emo.
Nerva and his father, Titus, Varus's then political rival, took advantage of rumors that Crown Prince Xenos had been possessed by a demon.
Yes, it's Xenos I know. Who the fuck are Nerva and Titus?
Elidibus, what better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth, or a close enough approximation?
Indeed. But before their accusations could be substantiated, many of Titus's followers were silenced. While some were merely stripped of their status, others died under curious circumstances. One after another, suddenly and suspiciously.
Again, Elidibus. Like as not, he had a hand in it. No evidence was found to implicate Varus, certainly. Nevertheless, Titus, Nerva, and the Third Legion would have judged it a brazen attempt by the Emperor to rid himself of his political enemies. And then, in the midst of this growing turmoil, Varus Sosgalvus is murdered.
Oh, okay, so this is before Varus died. I was going to say, I thought it was weird that, like, they were accusing Varus after he had died. It's like, I mean, dudes, you can have, like, contingency plans, but I feel like it's, you know, bad form to point the finger at a dead man, but now he's dead, okay.
And Garlemald's own prodigal son, Gaius van Belsar, is named the murderer.
I'm going to guess the single MCR song you know is Welcome to the Black Parade. You would be correct. I do like that song. No one knew what killed them. They were stabbed or slashed like with a sword. Very odd how it happened. Oh well, guess we will never know how they died. The military in Garlemald is incredibly impressive, and unfortunately their police force is almost entirely non-existent. So, yeah, it's just one guy, and he's just like, I am out of my depth. I gotta be honest. Like... I don't know...
Shortly thereafter, Nerva claims the right of succession, and in response, the First Legion claims the assassination was part of a coup d'etat orchestrated by Titus and Nerva.
So no one is at fault, and everyone else is to blame.
I should add that both parties received substantial financial backing, presumably to provide them with the means and encouragement to pursue a swift victory, and that these contributions came from the self-same benefactor.
Oh. So someone has been financing this soap opera.
I'd heard House Brutus had been filling the Third Legion's coffers, but the First as well.
It would seem so. Though the Populares determined that the First Legion received funds from a variety of organizations, all had connections to House Brutus.
Oh, it's pronounced coup d'etat. So I interrupt to tell them that, and they're like, "Oh wait, Jack, just pay attention, just listen to the adults."
So Fandaniel, in the guise of Asahi, was playing both sides against each other the entire time.
I was trying to remember what Fandaniel reminds me of. The only thing I can think of is Grim Fandango, but I'm pretty sure there's a bit in Bohemian Rhapsody that's mentioned the Fandango as well.
The information we gained from my friends does not end there. One night, shortly after fighting broke out, the capital was shaken by an immense tremor. From that point onward, they have no memories, no recollection of any events, including our clash on the Magna Glaciers.
Glacius, that's how it's pronounced. I knew it was pronounced stupid. Glacius.
But when asked about the Imperial Palace and its bizarre transformation, they somehow recall Emperor Varys giving them orders in their dreams. May the Tower of Babel stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald.
Oh, are they gonna? Oh, okay. So this will make up for Varys kind of just dying off screen if we get to fight a primal version of Varys when we go and take down the tower. That would make up for it a little bit, I think.
This sounds awfully familiar.
Because yeah, if they've tempered a load of dudes who worship Varys, then he's the closest thing they've got to a god to summon.
We have something to show you all.
Ah, he's going to go full World of Warcraft on us as well, I bet.
Varys spoke to them through this radio. Perhaps it was a recording, but if not, that would be inexplicable.
We are of one mind, then.
The ether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the talismans.
Huh.
I see it. While it is likely more by coincidence than design, these devices might also ward against a primal's influence.
Man, that is going to make the scholars at at Radzat Han feel, well, it's going to be annoying to them. They're like, hey, you know how you guys like have been sweating and breaking your back trying to develop these wards, and you know how your dragon god had to lend us a load of his scales to make them, to the point that he had like a bloody hole in the side of his chest. Yeah, turns out the Guardians accidentally invented a radio which does the same thing. Who knew?
A picture is beginning to form. If the tremor felt throughout Garlemald was a wave of ether emitted by a primal, then while those within range would have been tempered, those huddled around a radio desperate for news concerning the Civil War would have been spared.
No wonder Licinia kept it close.
I don't like Senna. He has a mama's boy haircut. Let's kick him. Leave Senna alone. This is the first time he's been allowed out of Gridania.
My friends, I must speak with you.
Hi.
A young man was caught trying to steal our supplies. He is a soldier of the Iron Men, we think, but one who has not been made thrall. Thankfully, Magni restrained him before blood was spilled. The stranger is outside, if you wish to ask him questions.
I think we do.
I vote against it.
Who do we have here?
Garleans?
Traitors to your homeland! Have you no shame?
It's impressive that he could see Lucia's forehead gem through her hair. I can't. I mean, that was the whole reason she was able to sort of hide being Garlean for so long.
I am Lucia Junius, a Temple Knight of Ishgard. And you are?
Iulus Pier Norbanus. And that's all you invaders will get from me.
Oh, I'm going to have to echo him, aren't I?
We are not here to invade Garlemald. Far from it. Like you, our allies in Eorzea and the Far East fight in defense of their lives and their loved ones even as we speak. But it is the people of Garlemald who have suffered most. This we know. And that is why we have come to offer you our aid, that we may unite against our common foe. Whether you believe me or not, those are the facts. Now, answer me this. Why would a proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing? The situation must be dire indeed for you to go to such lengths. If it is supplies you seek, we would gladly share ours, or turn a blind eye while you leave with your spoils.
I will not negotiate. My commander will determine how to deal with you and yours. If you wish to treat with him, I will take you, but no more than 3.
I don't much like the sound of that. But if we do accept his proposal, I suggest the 2 of us and...
Please allow me and Alize to act as envoys.
May I ask why?
Yeah,
We have seen with our own eyes the hardships the Garleans face. How their futures and lives hang in the balance.
I'm going to be honest, last time it didn't go exactly well. We remember we got those 2 people killed.
It's not the warmest invitation, but it's an opportunity to prove our intentions true. Maybe not a chance to make things right, but a chance to make them better.
Alright, well, at least send one of our Garlean people with you. What would your mother say if I let you 2 go by yourselves? Oh, I wanted to go with your Stoller. I mean, I like Alphinaud and Alice too, so that's fine, but I wanted to go with your Stoller.
I can see that persuading you otherwise is a lost cause, but you will proceed with the utmost care.
Your Stoller and Thancred, I think, are like my top choice. Then Kryl and Tartaru, and then Alphinaud and Alice, and then Urianche. But it's all... And Anistinian and Grahatir are quite high as well. Actually, honestly, there's not really a wrong option when it comes to the Scions. They're all good. No more than 3. Bro, homie, I can solo your whole ass army. Yeah?
A couple of children and what? A sellsword? Is this an insult?
Hey, nice to meet you, champion of Eorzea.
Not in the least. You will find that they are more than qualified to speak on our behalf.
There are many dangers on the road ahead. I will need that back.
This guy seems nice. You will be received as invited guests, and so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and conduct yourselves accordingly. That means please do not jump on their table when you talk to their commander, like you always fucking do every time you talk to someone standing in front of a table. Your safe return takes precedence above all else. Remember this. Thancred, in particular, will be worried sick if you're gone too long. May the Fury watch over and keep you. Why Thancred? He's not even here. Just don't tell him. Up the little fuck, ain't he? Yeah, I know, I love him. Are you and the children ready? I will explain the route once we are outside your camp. If anyone attempts to follow us, we will judge it an act of hostility. We will not hesitate to take appropriate measures. I would expect nothing less. You have our full cooperation. Oh, that was it. A bit. Whatever. Let's go meet some Garlemans. Some Garlands. Alright, this is far enough. Listen carefully. We head over that hill, then follow the road until we reach Liminal Station 4. Children in the lead, I want you where I can see you. We do have names, you know. I'm Alysei, and he's Alphinaud, and last but not least, there's Jack. Jack. Where have I heard that before? No matter, Alphinaud and Alysei will watch the road ahead, while we bring up the rear. I wasn't lying about there being many dangers, so you're to run, not saunter, run, towards the station. If you even think about going for your weapon, the deal's off. Should any creatures bar the way, we go around them. Once you choose to depart, Julius will accompany you. After let's say we'll begin moving towards the destination. Ready to make a dash for the station? Haha! I have immediately drawn my weapon. Okay, he's following. It's an Eblin bear. It's kind of like a dirty polar bear. It's like I'm following up on Alysei, but I am actually running a little bit faster than them. I'm catching up. If I sort of go at a slight angle. Oh, I'm getting closer. It's just like chasing survivors in Dead by Daylight. I'm getting closer. I'm not 100% sure, but I might stream. Oh, that dude's cool. I might stream some Dead by Daylight when Alan Wake comes out. Because I do own it. I just never play it. What? With your friggin' car. I played like 5 games when Wesker came out as Wesker, and then haven't played it since, so it'd be good to play some more. This is it, the first stop, that is. Good. It looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Are these your headquarters? Are these your headquarters? No, we're stopping here so I can check for pursuers. Since it appears you've kept to your side of the bargain, we can carry on. North of the station is Reggio Domoran, one of the main residential areas, or at least it was. The afflicted roam the streets in packs, and they'll tear us to shreds if given the chance. Keep close, no wandering off, understood? It really is like a zombie movie. And look, I got new shoes. Just like in a zombie movie. Nice. From here, we'll be heading northeast, keeping to the left of the railway, while the route itself is straightforward. Getting past the hordes unseen is anything but. Keep your weapons at the ready. Why, they would attack their own countrymen? Aye, they spare their own but slaughter the rest without hesitation. They will try to avoid detection. The chances of sneaking by completely unnoticed are slim at best. I will lead the way, but in the event we are seen, you're to fight them off. Those two will follow us, provided they can refrain from drawing their weapons. While I doubt they would be foolish enough to stab their guide in the back, I will not take that chance. With that said, let us proceed. Okay. Now I've got a bit of time, I can look at this dude. Aww. Man. I'm gonna get all of these dudes in my Beastmaster balls. It's gonna be fantastic. Guys, you're gonna have me fight these dudes, or you just... I mean, Alistair, you could have got your Porksy out and untempered them, but you know that's fine. We'll just kill them. It's good. Stabbing Jack, we'll say fell in the sword 20 times. It'll be fine, I'm sure. I don't mind Julius. Or Julius, I guess his name is. Yeah, Julius, not Julius. Because it passive aggressiveness is what I don't like. Open hostility, I'm all here for that. Because at least open hostility is honest. I see why your comrades chose you. Julius, our contingent has a cure for the afflicted, or tempered as we call them. Your people would need to be taken into custody that we may administer the treatment, but they would eventually regain their sanity. Is that so? Well, I know your treatment would simply force them to forsake one master for another. As far as I and my legion are concerned, they are no longer our people. They're beyond saving. Those who thought differently and tried to reason with them will butchered for their bleeding hearts. Come, we have to keep moving. We have to keep moving. The sun is rising. Again, I feel like we've chosen a terrible selection of people to do this. Because as soon as they figure out who I am, there's no way they're going to trust me. Ignore the ice trap behind us. Looks like we're not being followed. We will continue forward. Again, at any point if you guys want to help me out fighting these guys, I won't say no. I mean, it's not like I'm struggling, but... Oh, you pre-killed these ones. Excellent. Hang on, let me disengage from this ice trap. There we go. I meant what I said. These people deserve only death. I stayed my hand before only out of a desire to remain undiscovered, and that is the higher priority. We should continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Keep following the railway. Oh, he is going to feel silly when he finds out we can cure them. I'm surprised that Alphinaud and Alphinaud are staying as quiet as they are as well. Like, they're just... Normally they'd kick up a fuss about a dude killing people that they could save. And they're otherwise just kind of like, yeah, whatever. They're being very passive for a change. I don't know if I like it. Oh, hey, cool. Another Itherite I can attune to. Oh. What happened to these guys? I did it. Why have they all gone tentacly? Is that what happens if you get tempered too hard? Look at what they've become. Would you still stand there and claim that they can be cured? Those exposed to a vast quantity of a primal's ether may suffer severe corruption. Even with treatment, such victims are beyond salvation. Then you admit it. Now that you have seen these monstrosities for yourself, perhaps you will think twice before speaking of a cure. Yeah, we can cure the other ones. So yeah, the ones whose heads have turned into tentacles, that might be a bit beyond us. But the people who are just, like, you know, a bit rabid, it's fine. Wait, can I not attune? I thought, unless we're going past. Ow. Then again, I don't actually see. It must be underground, so maybe that's why. Maybe he'll take us to the underground. Marlboroughs are in right now. Yeah, they're very. It's very fashionable to be tentacled. Not in like a Japanese schoolgirl way, in a Cthulhu, unreversible way. Irreversible? Irreversible. We're almost there. You have kept your side of the agreement, so I will keep mine. This way. I do keep expecting us to run into someone that we know, just because they told us we might. But also, I don't know who in Garlemald that we know that we could run into. This is Tertium, one of the Garlemald's largest stations. It now serves as our headquarters. I've already sent the twins ahead, and I'll be with you soon, so wait for me at the bottom of the stairs. Yes, Dross. You right? She clearly has no intention of speaking with you. Oh, okay. Maybe I can get her to open her heart later. Ah, here we go. Seeing like they're hiding out in an underground subway. This is just a zombie movie. The Aetheryte is not responding. Oh. Alright. Well, I guess so much for fast traveling. It's plain to see why they chose this as their base of operations. They could have done a lot worse. Even so, I imagine it's not the easiest place to live. Indeed, and if Julius was willing to make the perilous journey to Camp Brokenglass in search of food, their own supplies must be all but exhausted. They may be shielded from the wind and snow, but it's still bitterly cold. Much like Victor's spoils, it must be a constant struggle to keep their people warm. Lower your voices. While you may be here as guests, the others will not take kindly to your presence. My commander is in the locomotive over there. I was going to say, do we know what a locomotive is? We don't have train. Oh no, we do have trains. I remember there being a train station outside Uldar. Yes, I think it was a train station. It might have been it might have been a It might have been an airship station. I will deal with you in a moment.
These are their chosen representatives.
Very well. Let us hear what they have to say.
Yes, sir. I present to you our commander, Lord Quintus Vankina, Legatus of the First Legion.
I don't know who that is.
The first? I had no idea you had survived.
Pompadour wearing posh bloke and what looks like his adopted children. No, it's more like Batman. It's more like a Batman and Robin situation. These two are my wards.
We lost our Emperor, our city, more than half our troops. For my wounds, I may never take the field again. But we survived, aye.
Although, think about it, I suppose Batman and Robin is an adopted child situation, so I guess that is, yeah, okay, fair enough.
In a manner much to your liking, I dare say.
We have no intention of adding to your misfortunes, nor do we bear you any ill will.
Spare me. Though you children may speak in earnest, overtures of peace ever ring hollow in my ears. So long as man stands to profit from his neighbor's suffering, war is inevitable. Driven from our ancestral homeland into this blasted waste. Yet still you yearned to rob us of our paltry scraps. 'Twas only with Magitech that you learned to keep your distance. Though we knew it was only a matter of time before you regrouped and returned. Conquest and Empire were our only defenses. Emperors Solus and Varys understood this, and through their campaigns saw us grow and prosper. Much blood has been spilled in Garlemald's name, aye. But if it is a choice between yours and mine, then it is hardly a choice at all.
Man, guys, it's good. I'm really sort of losing the motivation to save these people.
I do not deny that a great many conflicts throughout history were driven by the desire or necessity to gain by another's loss. That is not why we are here. Nor have we come to petition your aid in the war with the Telophoroi, grave though that threat may be. Our purpose is simply this. We wish to help you. Let us help you. If there is aught that can be done to ease your plight, we would be glad to do it.
Perhaps you would. But regardless of the ideals you espouse, your leaders would not send an army into Garlemald if they did not stand to benefit. If we accept their aid, they will expect their efforts to be rewarded once the Telophoroi are no longer a threat.
Yeah, with like peace talks.
And after compensation and concessions, the great empire would be brought to heel. Her enemies rejoice at her downfall. Our third eye, a mark of shame.
We won't stand idly by and let your people be humiliated. And we're not alone in that. We only want to make a difference. To make this world of ours better. Surely you can understand that.
Again, I feel like we should have sent at least one of the Garlean members of our team with us so that we can be like, look, we like the Garleans. We're not going to humiliate you.
What I'm trying to say is, there are so many people who just don't care about making you suffer. And maybe that's almost insulting after all the suffering you feel the world has subjected your people to, but believe it or not, that's the truth. And now we're here, and all we're asking is for you to tell us what you want,
Yeah, seriously,
what you hope for.
The rest of the world doesn't care about you as much as you think the rest of the world cares about you.
So much blood has been shed, so much lost. All because of this endless war. Who wouldn't want to end it?
I'm not reading that one
work
out, Brian.
together? To face our problems as one?
Answer me this, young peacemakers. If a world without conflict is your desire, why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald? Is it because we do not share your faith?
I think it's because you wanted to enslave, like, you wanted to, like, genocide the beast tribes and enslave a load of people.
That we do not share your heritage? That our ideals and virtues differ? That we cherish and hold in the highest that which you do not? Disparity is the root of discord, and peace built on compromise is flawed and fleeting. Happiness for one and all is a dream, and the reality is that to the victor go the spoils. That is why we Garleans will never submit nor surrender. For freedom and for pride, we will remain true to ourselves until the bitter end. That is my hope. It seems there is nothing more to say on the matter.
There's that meme going around at the moment where there's a character who's put their hands on another character's shoulder and goes, I think we're going to have to kill this guy. And they're like, oh, dang it. I'm just imagining that right now. Just Jack leaning over to Alphinaud and saying, yeah, I think we're going to have to kill this guy. I think he just likes feeling persecuted. He does have a bit of a persecution complex. I mean, the thing is, it's very, like, I absolutely know people in real life who are like this. It's a very convincing character, where he just believes that everyone is out to get them, and, like, there's no possible, like, they can't sort of imagine a world where people would be trying to do things with zero self-interest, because they couldn't imagine themselves doing something without any self-interest, and so they just shoot themselves in the foot in order to they spite their nose. They cut off their nose to spite their face to prove their point. I could beat all of these up.
You will remain here while I decide what is to be done with you. Do not be alarmed. No harm will come to you if you cooperate.
You have a ragtag bunch of malnourished soldiers. I am the strongest man in the world.
We will not resist. However, as your guests, I ask that we be allowed to speak with the other members of your group.
As you wish. I had no intention of locking you up, as by dawn you would be frozen stiff and you're no good to me dead. You are free to move about the encampment, but there is one condition. Collar them.
What are these?
They look like
Incentives.
bombs.
You'll be watched at all times. Stray too far or act suspiciously, and we will administer a rather painful shock. Stop. Keep away from that one. The champion of Eorzea is not so easily cowed.
Yeah, he knows who I am.
Even if he allowed himself to be collared, the shock would be no more than an itch. No. If he refuses to obey, we will activate the twins' restraints instead.
You needn't worry about us.
We'll forget we're even wearing them soon enough.
Even now, you still... Why go to such lengths? What is it all for?
The most bitter adversary may one day see reason. On the coldest, blackest of nights, meager though it may be, we must share the warmth. Let's go for the second one. I'll let that one. Why did I suddenly remember Harshiphon? I think that was Harshiphon,
You
wasn't it?
are a curious one. A far cry from the merciless barbarian others paint you to be. You will be their warden. Take them away.
Yes, sir.
Don't like being called kinky bitches. Don't call the 60-year-olds kinky bitches, please. Let's not make this any weirder than this situation needs to be. Alright, so I'm gonna have to do 3 quests in order to prove myself to these people. That's how this goes. You do 3 things and then suddenly that's enough to make anyone believe you. As per Lord Quintus's instructions, I am to supervise you during your time here in Tertium. Before you ask, no, I don't have a key or any other means to remove your collars, nor would I tell you if I did. And if you try anything, you'll soon wish you hadn't. So, do you truly intend to speak with the others, or was that merely a ruse? We're in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that's what you mean. Or perhaps you doubt the wisdom of his decision. Do as you will, but remember, I'll be watching. If I catch wind of you doing anything untoward, trying to trick our people into turning their coats and the like, those shock collars were the least of your worries, understood? Though we're somewhat compromised, to put it lightly, let's not waste this opportunity. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of their situation. And above all else, don't use magics of any sort. Tell me what to do. You, on the other hand, may go wherever you so wish, even outside the camp. I know full well I couldn't stop you if I tried. But do not forget, if you do anything to endanger us or our interests, Alphinaud and Elisay will pay the price. Yeah! I'll cut you down! It's already weirder than it needs to be. I'm just, don't escalate. You came with Julius, didn't you? Well, whatever business you bought here, you'd best keep your hands off that ether, eh? It's deactivated, but I'd rather you didn't mess about with it. There are others throughout the city, built by Garleans for Garleans. Could teleport over in the blink of an eye, provided there was a terminal nearby. These days, however, we'll use the Aetherite's power to keep this place lit. Oh yeah, this place really seems lit. Oh, different kind. Though that comes at the cost of its normal function. Oh, so even if they don't have magic, Garleans could still use Aetherites to teleport. Teleport. I guess they had, yeah, as you said, you had terminals to do it for them. Oh, that's interesting. So cold. Young soldiers on the verge of losing consciousness. Okay, that didn't help. I know who you are. So-called champion of Eorzea. Come to gloat, have you? I'll wipe that smirk off your face. By the blood of our fallen compatriots, I swear I'll... Ugh. Damn. Tore the sutures. He got so mad at me, he opened his wounds. All timed. The worst of the lot within striking distance, I can't even muster the strength. Were for the third bleeding us, would be the end of you. Virgilius' treachery nearly cost Lord Quintus's life. We made our escape, took shelter in a mansion, tended the wounded, prepared to strike back, and then night fell and we gathered around the radius. It's supposed to text to speak that, but I don't think they like that word, Jack. Say champion again and they might attack. Okay. Well, I'll have to come up with a different word when it comes up in dialogue. Night fell and we gathered around the radio, then the roar, the terrible roar. The capital was in chaos, but we were spared. You can call this a mercy. Mind intact, but body broken. A soldier in name alone. I'll cut you down if where you stand, if I could. Murderer. I mean, I have murdered a lot of Garleans in my time. You're absolutely right. There it is, the same model as the one used for Victor's spoils. Perhaps it is what saved the soldiers here from being tempered. It's amazing that, like, that little radio could spare, like, this big group of people. I guess they have to be quite close to it, because it seems like the tempering isn't active permanently, and it was just, like, one big wave all in one go. And then it stopped. So I guess it was just whoever was near the radio at the time. Oh, Octavia. How did I miss you the first time? Were you lit up the first time? It's you, Jack Dandy. Oh, I served under Lord Gaius in the 14th Legion. I was there on the night the Praetorium fell. You and your adventurers, you killed them. My comrades, my friends, swept them aside in their dozens as though they were nothing to you. They were nothing to me. Maybe I am too. Just another faceless enemy to be cut down. But it won't be long until our countrymen return. Until you get what you deserve. Mark my words. Yeah. We invaded your country and then you fought back and killed some of us. How dare you? It's like, oh yeah. How dare us? We're really the bad guys here. What's up, Alphinaud? Did you learn anything of note? And your findings consistent with my own. Their plight is desperate indeed. The sick and injured are at greatest risk. Without warmth and proper nutrition, I fear they will soon perish. I realize there is precious little we can do for them at present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. Please, will you help me tend to them? Sure. I'll cheer them on. That worked wonders last time. Maybe if they'd stop being assholes, someone would help them. And unfortunately, they've got a proud tradition of being assholes in Garlemald, so it would be against their culture. Who's there? My eyes, I can't see all that well. Ah, thank you. The numbness has subsided a little. But I know I won't last much longer. You should look to the others who can still fight. Give them my ration. If me going hungry means someone else lives to see another day, so be it. At least I can still serve in that way. Anyway, I have to, dude. So those you met fare no better. I was afraid you would say that. I know we were warned against meddling in their affairs, but we can't leave them like this. Perhaps we might gain permission to have the contingent deliver supplies. Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize they are not in a position to refuse help. Maybe Jullus could persuade him, though we need to persuade Jullus first. Alright, let's persuade Jullus. How dare you stop us from dropping a nuke on your country? I know, right? It's like, dude, you built it. It's like, oh, we built it we invaded your territory, built a castle, then tried to summon an ancient Allagan weapon to destroy your country, and you dared kill us to try and stop us. You're monsters. Monsters, the lot of you. Well, seen enough. Julius, the people here have barely enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any more supplies? We've been scavenging provisions from the nearby houses, as most families kept some stored away in the event they were snowed in. Still, going out and getting it is dangerous work, and we've a lot of mouths to feed. Fuel is the greater concern, though. We had some ceruleum set aside until it was stolen. We haven't identified the culprit. Could have been other refugees or one of the afflicted, for all we know. Either way, we're down to the last dregs. Without the heating they need, those in poor health are only going to get worse instead of better. If it's cerulean we need, our contingent has secured a ready supply. We can have some sent over. We will not accept your charity. If we can hold on a little longer, the situation is sure to change. Aye, everything will change. Those mysterious countrymen of yours, I assume. You heard something of it, have you? Well, from what I've seen, there's little you could do to interfere, so there's no harm in telling you. One of the scouts spotted a hooded man issuing instructions to the afflicted, or in the bastard's words, loyal servants of the Telophoroi. Then he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, or what stand in its place. We'd identified the seat of the enemy's power, realized. Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion, saying as much, and instructed them to join forces with the provincial legions, to prepare for a combined assault on the Telophoroi. Once our allies arrive, your contingent will be sent running for the hills. Then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. And how do you intend to survive in the meantime? At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before reinforcements reach Garlemald. They need help now. Say the word and we will bring you ceruleum. I will speak with Lord Quintus. That's better than nothing, I suppose. Alright, I spoke with him, he said no. So, did he agree to it? Yeah, okay, he did say no. No, he will not place Garlemald in the debt of our enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for ceruleum outside. As you are under my watch, you will come with me. Very well. After all, many hands make light work. You lot are more trouble than you're worth. It's like, I really need you to start, like, opposing me more so that I can justify my stance. At the moment, it's being very hard to make the argument that you guys are still against us. Once we're outside, you will follow my instructions to the letter. We depart shortly. Like, my entire narrative isn't being supported at all at the moment, because you're all being lovely. Ooh. Hand. Oh, I think... no, I think I still need the headgear. I was gonna say... yeah. We'll begin our search for ceruleum in Regio Urbanissima. The first location is Forum Solius, a park to the northwest of this station. You are to remain close at all times and act only as ordered. Follow me. Let's go. This is why. Couldn't we just, like, get our people to deliver some ceruleum and then just go out and just be like, oh, hey, look, we found all of this ceruleum. Gee, I wonder where this came from. Jackie said follow, so you have to slow walk and disappear into nothing. Oh, I would love if they made that an emote. Just the walk into the walk and fade away. Like, it's the one move that everyone other than me can do. So this is the park. I'm surprised they found space for one amongst all these buildings. Actually, the recreational areas came first. The houses were later built around them. A healthy society requires communal spaces for children to play and adults to socialize. This park was named after the founding father of the Empire, the great Solus Zosgelvus. Yeah, we've met him. He was alright. I've got a little wind-up toy of him that I could get out if you'd like. We did come to extract... Did we come to extract ceruleum from the wrecked Magitech armor? No, we've already drained it dry. Same goes for the rest of the machina in the vicinity. But as our ceruleum has been stolen, we must scour the city for every last drop. Again, this is a zombie movie. We're looking for, like, gasoline in abandoned cars at this point. So that we can power our generator. But I don't expect to find anything here. I've decided to try one more time, in case something has been overlooked. I see. Then, with your permission, we will commence the search. Speaking of emotes, do you see that emote that you get with the new Hydaelyn and Zodiac figure that comes out? They're rather small by Guardian standards. The structure is reminiscent of a merchant store. Perhaps it was built for children to play as shopkeeper. There's nothing inside resembling Magitech or any other device that would be fueled by ceruleum. Aww. Yeah, it's a really cool emote, but you have to buy I think it's like a $400 statue of Hydaelyn and Zodiac. And I'll be honest, I looked at the figure and I don't think it's worth $400. So I'm not getting that emote. The contraption is built in the style of Imperial War Machina. Yeah. Armed with a battery of weapons and capable of transforming to different configurations, but on closer inspection it appears to be no more than a children's slide. Whee! I was going to say, we're inspecting a children's play park in order to find ceruleum. This isn't where I would have gone. Is there anything outside the park that I can look at? No, I don't see any sparklies. But yeah, I know they've done that a couple of times where they've it's like sealed minions and emotes behind quite expensive pieces of merchandise. The only one because I did go at some point I did go through all of them to see if there's anything I really wanted. The only one that I really that I really regret missing is I think the pre-order bonus for Stormblood was the Red Mage minion. I really wish I had a Red Mage minion. And there's no way to get it because you can't even buy. Like I'd even be prepared to buy a code on eBay for a Red Mage minion, but because it's linked to the pre-ordering of the expansion, there's no like codes you can use for it. Sucks. Could be worse. There's DLC for Star Citizen that costs 43,000 actual dollars IRL. You can only buy if you already spent 10k. Yeah, that is worse. That is worse. At least with the Final Fantasy thing, you do still get a statue. Like, you still get the model of Hydaelyn and Zodiac for you to put on your shelf. That's the thing I've always been about amiibos. Like, even though amiibos are, like, still kind of expensive, at least I have an amiibo. Like, even if, like, no other game supports this amiibo, I've still got the toy to put on my shelf. Several points of interest along to the map of Forum Solius. The pond children's play areas. To your knowledge, however, none would require the use of ceruleum. Yeah, again, this is a really, like, rubbish place for us to be looking for ceruleum. Why are we here? There's the last sparkly. 53k DLC. Yeah. Star Citizen is... It's annoying. I got a friend who's like really into it. And they're like... oh yeah, no, it's really great. You can play the alpha version now, and it's like... It's a proper game, and it's not a scam. And I'm like, yeah, but come on, dude. It's like... There's no way it's going to be worth as much money as people have put into it. But then I suppose it's like gacha games. Like... I do play Pokemon Masters, for example, and very occasionally Honkai Rail, and I look at, I sort of think, okay, well, how much like money would I have to spend to like guarantee something? And I look at it and it's like, this is like 60, 70 quid to just guarantee like one character. This is not there's just a different level, like 2 stages above where I'm at financially, that these games are marketed towards. And Star Citizen like 5 or 6 levels. So gave Citizen access being funded entirely by Kickstarter. Yeah, like when Star Citizen comes out, when Star Citizen's done, I'll check it out. But until then, I have 0 interest in it. Anime titty is superior to spaceships. I mean, I'd like to disagree with you, but I do agree with that, I think. Cursory inspection of the wrecked Magitech armor confirms that the fuel canisters have long since been drained of ceruleum, as Jullus said. Yeah, this was a waste of time, Jullus. This is a children's play park. Why are we looking for petrol? Oh, it's you. Any luck? There's no sign of any ceruleum. Hardly surprising, but disappointing nonetheless. I couldn't help but noticing you gazing at the pond. Is something the matter? What? Yes. I mean, no, It's just, I used to bring my brother and sister here to play. The pond was heated to stop it from freezing over, so like all the other children, they just had to wade in and splash about. Would have stayed there if I didn't drag them out. We'd be sopping wet when all was said and done, every time. And every time when we'd get home, Mother would scold us, saying we'd catch our death walking around like that. The pond was heated. With a ceruleum-powered heater, by chance? I suppose it must have been. Come to think of it, I remember seeing engineers changing out a tank beneath a hatch. That was a long time ago, when the water still flowed clear and wasn't this brackish muck. I can't see a thing, and I can't remember where the hatch might be. With machinery most likely broken, the amount of filth in there is probably the only reason it hasn't frozen over. I'd wager it's still unbearably cold, though. Julius, what are your thoughts on magic? The average Guardian would jump out of their skin if they saw it, but the first have a few foreign signiferi and medici, so it doesn't scare me. Then I take it you won't mind if I employ a little now. Alphinaud, as you have a knack for finding dry wood, why don't you bring me some? Once that's done, a blast of fire should do the trick. Leave it to me. I like how finding dry wood has now become Alphinaud's specialty. You're not planning to go in there, are you? Of course I am. That tank isn't going to fetch itself. It's nothing so involved as extracting unprocessed ceruleum from a frozen lake like how the tappers do it. We're talking about a shallow pond in a park, and we have a way of warming ourselves up after. But that's insane. So, fancy a dip? Step aside while I drink the pond dry. That way we'll find it in no time. That may be the stupidest thing I've heard in a while, and that's saying something considering who my brother is. I can't fault your enthusiasm, though. Let's do it my way first, and if that doesn't work, perhaps then you can try your method, with Alphinaud's help. How dare you call my way stupid? Get me my straw! Get me my lake-drinking straw. Down in the murky water become empty-handed. Add injury to insult, the icy wind on your damp clothing chills you to the bone. I have become chilled to the bone. It's fine. It's what I got this coat for a reason. did it. I mean, they could have at least put something in his hand. However, your grand discovery comes at great personal cost, as you become acutely aware of the freezing cold and a rancid odour emanating from every limb of your body. Julius will doubtless feel compelled to pinch his nose shut when you deliver to him your prize. If I had found it in one go, I wonder whether my victory thing would have been more, would have been better. But because it was like I literally went through every wrong option first, I now smell. Did you find anything? I hope you did. That's it. And there's still some ceruleum left. Didn't we have a bottle of ceruleum that we didn't deliver to the refugees at Thingy's place? Can I not just give him that? Ah, the fire's still not ready. Hold on, I'll give Alphinaud a hand. Call me Ul'dan, because by fire I am reborn, and my clothes are mostly dry now too. I appreciate you recovering the ceruleum, but I wish you'd taken the time to discuss the plan with me beforehand. Despite the way you've been treated, in Lord Quintus's eyes, you're still envoys deserving of protection. If you were to die on my watch, he would be most displeased. Your concern is duly noted, but all's well that ends well. Julius, you mentioned coming here with your younger siblings. Did you grow up in Garlemald? I did, not far from here. My father was an accomplished researcher in his youth, and for his contributions to the Empire, awarded an estate. We lived well, better than many. What was Garlemald like in those days? Everything. It was everything you could imagine and so much more. Even during the coldest winters, we always found warmth and comfort at home. Coming in from the snow, taking off your coat and sitting down for a hot meal with family. Visiting friends and relatives, receiving that same welcome, knowing they had everything they needed. Walking down the street, seeing the lights in all the houses, hearing the faint sound of laughter and song, of happiness. And although the summers came and went all too quickly, in that brief respite, the ice would melt and the forgotten grass make its triumphant return. Grey clouds gave way to blue skies. Some mornings we'd climb to the top of the tallest building we could find to watch the sun rise. Never again. Those rooftops are rubble, those friends dead and those memories. But if I could reclaim even a fraction of what we once had. Soon our chance will come. We just need to hold on a little longer. Dread committing a war crime on our heads. Don't make us like you. I mean, the first didn't. It was mostly the 14th, and we wiped out most of them, so that's fine. That was why that one lady was mad at us, because we killed all of her friends. I think I've got... Yeah, I've got almost a full set of this Almasty clothes now. Wait, hang on. Why don't they give me Almasty Surge gloves, Almasty Surge coat, but then luncheon toad skin? Why don't they give me a full set of Almasty? That's upsetting. Alright, now that you've recovered from your escapades in the pond, there's another location I'd like to search, just outside the park. By the way, is this a bad time to ask whether you guys have got Triple Triad in Garlemald? I have played Triple Triad against a couple of Garleans. There was one soldier who was really into it, but I don't know whether he picked it up in in Eorzea. As you can see, this place is littered with the remnants of various types of war machina. While my comrades and I have already recovered the tanks from the less damaged units, those that took a more severe beating are harder to scavenge. We decided to save those for another time, that time being now. Rather than prize them apart piece by piece, it would be quicker to remove the outer casing using compact explosives. With luck, we'll gain access to the tanks without rupturing them. Though the force generated by those devices is relatively weak, I advise you stand well clear to avoid being hit by any shrapnel. Before even bothering, though, you should check the machina's ceruleum gauge to see if there's any left. It should still provide an accurate reading even when the unit itself is inactive. If the gauge is broken, I'll let you decide whether to use an explosive or not. Should you need more, come to me. And we have no food and fuel, but bombs! Oh, do we have a lot of bombs? Understood. Let's get to work. Yeah, we'll make friends with the Guardians. By the end of this, like, there's still a lot of Endwalker to go. By the end of this, they'll be fairly friendly with us. And maybe in a couple of expansions' time, maybe Garlemald will even be rebuilt. This unit's full tank is empty. Civil engagement with the unit appears to have broken, giving you no way to determine how much... Alright, let's try it. You retrieve the Warmacker's cerulean tank to find it is still half full, or half empty, depending on one's perspective. Either way, Julius will surely be pleased with your discovery. Oh, so I only have to do one of them. That's nice. Terrorists until their last breath. Well, I don't think they count as terrorists if they've declared war. I don't know how. I mean, there's no Geneva Convention in Eorzea, but I don't know how the definition works necessarily. More explosives. Wait, is that what I think it is? Yeah, I'm good at this. You've done it again. Truly, luck is on your side. With this, we should be able to refuel quite a few of our heaters. It's time we headed back. Wait here while I go and see how Alice and Alphinaud are faring. If you win, they're terrorists. If they win, they're freedom fighters. Oh, okay.
Finally escaped the watchful gaze of your keepers, have we?
Oh, this is Thancred. I don't care. No, I don't care if you've declared war. If your motto has become our slaves, we nuke you. You're a terrorist. It's just an aggressive war strategy. I think most terrorists don't even give you the option. They just... Again, this isn't my field. This isn't my area. I'm not gonna... International policy isn't... international politics isn't my area.
Don't react. You'll only draw attention to yourself. Just carry on as you are and listen. After you left with the Garlean lad, Lucia bade a few of us scouts follow you at a discreet distance. We observed you being led into the station, but decided against venturing inside. When you emerged sometime later, and we saw that the twins were sporting Magitech collars, it was clear what had taken place. Now, as quietly as you can, tell me everything. The Legatus himself, eh? Now there's a surprise.
Hang on, if Thancred's talking to me telepathically, can't I just talk back to him telepathically? Do I not have that power? Did they not teach me that trick?
This is also the first I've heard of a plan to join forces with the 10th and storm the Tower of Babel. An interesting development, and perhaps the opportunity we've been waiting for. Our comrades back at the camp also received some rather promising news, but it's still too early to get our hopes up. For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them. With luck, this will all be over soon.
quietly as you can. They are forcing us to swim in sewer water. Launch the attack.
They had not gone far.
Go, Thancred, go! Kill them all!
We searched high and low, but no luck, I'm afraid. I might have guessed you'd be the only one to find anything.
I wasn't expecting much to begin with. Eventually, there will be nothing left out here for us to safely salvage.
I would make a horrible warrior of light. Which is worrying because you have like 70 of them.
For now, this will have to suffice. We should return to the station.
You're good. They're going to teleport me back. I don't have to actually walk back myself.
Ah, there you are. Heard you'd gone hunting for ceruleum above ground. Brought back a king's ransom?
Hardly. But thanks to these three, we have enough to last a little while longer.
Well, well. It's not at all as I was expecting, these ones. For savages, they seem positively docile. It's a poor attempt at humor. In all honesty, I'm grateful for your efforts. But even with another night of warmth, there are those among us who may not live to see the morrow.
I trust your expedition was fruitful.
Yeah, they want savage. I'll give them savage.
Lord Quintus!
Man, he's got a hell of a neck beard.
Use what you procured to refuel the armor.
But, sir, what about the heaters for the camp?
The time for action is upon us. My men and I have matters to discuss. In the meantime, you are to wait here. Do not forget, you are being watched.
Oh, the cracks are beginning to show.
The time for action. What did he mean by that?
I can only speculate. Clearly something requiring their magitech, given what we just heard. Whether they plan to utilize it now, or after they join with the 10th, is another question. Will they ever escape this cold? Return to and reclaim the idyllic spaces of which Eulus spoke?
I mean... Oh, it's Eulus, not Julius. If I was them, I would maybe sit closer to the fires that are dotted around rather than spread out thin.
Finished your war, Council?
Alphinaud and Alizé are to stay here, as our prisoners. They will be released once your comrades have relinquished their supplies and withdrawn from Garlean soil.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to kill these guys. Sorry. You guys just bear the shock collars for a little while. Once I've killed all of them, there won't be anyone to activate them anymore. I've killed almost every god known to man, and half a dozen people I'd never heard of. I can blow up what's left of your people. Exactly, like... You are tinfoil to me. I am a hot knife and you are butter.
Until our terms are met, they will be detained at a separate location.
everything we've said and done, this is how you treat us.
Our allies have but limited supplies. They may stave off cold and starvation for a short while, but what then?
For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them.
There's no renegade or paradise option in Final Fantasy XIV. I have faith. See, Yullus.
Get them out of here.
Yullus isn't that bad. He really doesn't want to do this. How much longer are you planning to go? So I was gonna go until I unlock the Aetherite, which I think is 2 more missions. Just looking at the quest list, and then that means I'm not gonna go as far as the Tower of Babel, which is, I know, the next dungeon. But so I'll probably do the Tower of Babel next week. Sort of early next week. Because if I've got the Aetherite here, I can fast travel back to here, which is what I like. Otherwise I've got to run all the way back over here, which is irritating. Alphinaud and Alcé would be fine, providing they do not resist. So I think, what are we on? Yeah, so I think at the end of the mission after this, I unlock the Aetherite. So I'll go to the end of that. You will accompany me back to your camp, where I meet with your leader and present Lord Quintus's demands. Before we depart, however, there's something I would ask of you. Assuming your contingent complies, the supplies they surrender will need to be transported here. That task falls to Legionaries Marsilius and Octavia, who will pilot Magitech arm at your headquarters. You are to inform them that we are leaving shortly. Tell them to ask the eel for further details, in those words. Once you've seen to that, meet me by the exit. Oh, I feel a coup. I feel a coup coming. There's a very long cutscene before Babel, so yeah, good idea to go till then. Yeah. It's unfortunately it's a school night, so I can't go that late, even if I wanted to. What do you want with me? Ask the ill. So Lord Quintus has reached a decision. I knew you would understand, that he would recognize the savage as a ruthless, merciless creature, and to defeat him we too must be uncompromising. I am ready. In the name of Emperor Varys, for the glory of Garlemald, I will fulfill my duty. Okay, maybe not a coup. Then that was not. I thought this was going to be a code word for, hey, we are turning against the leader. You again. Ask the ill, he said. So that's to be the way of it, after all this. Ironic that you should be the one to deliver the news. So is my orders, and so be it. For the glory of Garlemald. I mean, there's definitely something happening. These two don't seem happy with these orders. I don't know. Or, and hear me out, we slaughter everyone. Look, again, I would be a terrible warrior of light as well, because my patience is very thin, and I would too be in favor of slaughtering everyone. But unfortunately, I have to be a hero, which means being a bastion of hope and salvation for all people, even the ones I don't like very much. Besides, if we slaughtered everyone we didn't like, it means they couldn't come back and help us out as cool allies. Like, imagine if I had killed Gaius. He wouldn't be able to come back as a cool wolf hunter dude, or whatever his name is. That sounds like a code word for let's try to kill the Warrior of Light. I mean, again, I could solo this entire like, encampment easily. It wouldn't even be an instance. Have you done as instructed? What do you mean by ask the ill? I'm not at liberty to divulge that. What I can say is this. You have no cause for concern if our demands are met. You and I are in this together now, and like or not, we have to cooperate. There is one other matter. A place I'd like to visit on the way to your camp. It's a short walk from here. Follow me. I'm gonna get this man to coup if I can... if it coups me. I think being a bastion of hope for almost everyone is good enough. It's all or nothing. I am a Hydaelyn's champion. Yeah, it's been 40 minutes. I can say champion again. Face the Great Warden Solar. Sometimes heal people, sometimes shoot bad guys. Both things help. I do those things. Like I said, they're absolutely right to call me a murderer. I've killed plenty of Garleans at this point. Like, I have killed so many Garleans. Do you know how many Garleans I had to kill to get... Oh, I can't check my glamour plates at this point. But do you know how many Garleans I had to kill to get my cool jacket that I've got? I had to run through that friggin' quest so many times. Julius lingers by the ruins, reluctant to leave and reluctant to stay, unable to move on. Wait here. Yes. Look, Eulus seems cool, so we're gonna try and not kill him if we can help it.
This is my home. Our home.
Alright, brag about having a house.
It was until that night. I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate. When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside.
Here comes the sob story. I hear the music.
But they weren't themselves, and they tried to. And I had to.
Ah, so that's why he's so insistent that we can't cure people.
I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped. I promised. The Garlean flag bears a chain, the bonds between our countrymen. A red link at its center, the blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald.
Maybe get a new flag.
But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here? If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, my gods don't do a huge amount to save me. I mean, I guess Hydaelyn kind of... She made me a shield once.
I'm sorry, forget I spoke. We should go.
Can anyone else hear screaming in the background? Like, should we not be worried about the distant screaming?
It's no use.
Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you. But he wanted us to play along, so that is what we will do.
You can't kill people because I already slaughtered everyone I cared about who was afflicted. Well, yeah, I can... Like I said, I can kind of understand why he's like, no, you can't kill people, because if it does, it means I killed my family who could have been saved, and I don't want that to be true. Like, I could understand wanting to, you know, shy away from reality when the reality is kind of a bit cruel like that.
It's so cold.
Painfully so. Unbearably.
Just cast Verfire.
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule.
Although, I do appreciate that I can cast Verfire a lot more frequently than Alice can, because of my boundless ether. So maybe she can't do it frequently
Irreconcilable
like I can.
differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varys at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Ascians. United as one people, one race cleansed of imperfections.
Yeah, it's the cleansed of imperfections part, which is the bit we kind of disagreed on.
A cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world? But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum. Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hell's with the rest of you. And yet, I can see how it happened. Varys and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust? All of us lost in a sea of chaos, searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms. A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance.
Aggressive ignorance can get you a long way, though.
I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics. To see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined. But it only spurs me onward, to find the wisdom and the strength to see it through to the very end.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions?
Demands. And you forgot about the airship.
You didn't mention the airship before. Aggressive ignorance is the American way. Look where they are now. Morons, but powerful morons. I mean, I'd like to say anything, but unfortunately it's also the British way.
Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Huh?
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too. Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand, to refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess what I'm saying is...
Not all of us Americans like that. Oh, no, I know. And not all British people are like that. But certainly the ones in power.
You've found your own reason to fight.
Yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace. But not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all.
Yeah, that won't happen until Final Fantasy XIV closes its servers, because until then, I need a job. I need conflict. I need things to kill, and it'd be a very boring expansion if it was the peace expansion. It's like, oh yeah, there's no combat in this one. There's no way to level up. It's all just dialogue. There's no dungeons,
you, brother,
no trials.
will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us fools for even trying.
All the future DLCs could be alternate universes. I will say I would quite like a... maybe not like a Final Fantasy XIV 2, but an expansion that time skips just like a couple of years into the future when Alice and Alphinaud are grown up. Because... Like I said, it's just sort of very jarring to me that everything sort of still takes place within kind of the same year. Like everything that's happened hasn't been that much time since. Like I think it has literally just been 1 year since like the beginning of A Realm Reborn until the end of Endwalker, as far as I know, because they all still talk about the calamity being 5 years ago. So it'd be cool if there was like a time skip where they got older and taller and the other characters all developed in some way, and like I said, Garlemald could be reconstructed a little bit, and like they couldn't do it too far ahead because everyone would have to age a lot, but they could age a little bit.
It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives.
I like alternate universes. I like what-if scenarios. I think what-ifs are fun. Well, multiverse stuff is okay, but it's like in Marvel. The what-if stuff I prefer way more than just the there's a universe where everyone's alligators. It's like, okay, I guess that's kind of fun in its own way for like a minute, but.
Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know.
That's why I liked that Walking Dead game more than I should have. That game was terrible, but I like a good what if. So, we played through the whole friggin' thing.
Don't ever change, you hear me? If you stumble, I'll be there to catch you. Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
Thank you, Alice.
By the way, if I didn't know that both of these characters were going to be fine, this would be like a huge death flag that they're both setting up right now. It's like, I'll be there to support you, brother, in the future, every step of the way. Hey, Estinian.
The scouts have secured Alizé and Alphinaud. Their collars were removed without complication as well. They report no casualties, not for their party nor the guards, who will wake from their premature slumber in due course.
Well, still he didn't kill anyone. He's growing.
It would appear the situation has changed. I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came prepared with a second.
It's okay. They're not very good shots.
More are coming! Make ready!
Man. What a waste of ceruleum.
The loyal soldiers of the First Legion, proud servants of Garlemald, of the fallen Emperor Varys, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return! Stop! Both of you!
This child may be the worst emissary I have ever seen.
We received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea.
Alright, so hang on everyone. Pause the war. We're going to keep talking for a little bit.
Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience. They explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th and 12th had ended in failure. Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted. That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
Lies! Every word!
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus. Have the ill stand down.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
Fuck.
Inform her that we will honor the 10th's decision. Bereft of hope, and now dignity. I release you from your duty. All of you.
Yeah, they skip away.
I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement. 'Twas a grand, glorious dream we shared. Of a world united, of peace and prosperity. We are ghosts, you and I, memories of days gone by. Bonds forged in blood that I will not see tarnished.
That's one way to deal with it.
Quickly! We have to reach the station before it's too late.
Bang. Oh.
If there is still a chance that Quintus will agree to a truce, we must take it.
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something rash.
I mean, at least now I don't have to kill him. But, yeah. Stubborn to the end. I'll give him that much. Anyway, what are we doing, Lucia? Much and more has occurred since we last met. As for determining what comes next, we must speak with Lord Quintus. That might be tricky, but, sure. Right, so I think we'll do... Yeah, this should let me unlock another Aetheryte, so... before we proceed, tell me what you know of the First Legion and the disposition of their forces. They're cold, they're hungry, they're kind of... spread thin. They were preparing for war while the refugees in their care were left to go hungry. A reckless, short-sighted plan that risks the welfare of the people they are sworn to protect. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we were to arrive in force with the intent to do so, we would only incite panic. Perhaps they could be persuaded to follow one of their own. Go with Iulus back to the station, and have him lead the refugees here. Some may be unwilling or unable to leave, but for the time being, I'll take what I can get. Alphinaud, Alice, and the scouts sent to extricate them should already be at the station. I would also have our other comrades in the area lend their support should it be needed. Understood. Yes, you know, this would be the point where it's really useful to have that that Aetheryte attuned. Because now I gotta run across a friggin' frozen wasteland that I can't fly over. That's fine. We can have a little natter while I run over. But yeah, I like what if stuff. I really like I like the Xenoverse, the Dragon Ball Xenoverse games in theory, because they're just one big what if scenario, but they're also not very good what if scenarios. Like they do like a couple of things, like, oh, what if Nappa turned into a giant monkey during the fight with Vegeta? And it's like, I guess it just there's two monkeys to fight. It's like, yeah, pretty much. That's kind of the beginning and the end of that one. I think Dragon Ball is ripe for some really good what-if scenarios. Like, what if Goku had taken his heart medicine? Like, how would that have changed things? What if Yamcha hadn't died? Like a chump. I don't know. There's plenty of, like, what-if things they could do. That I think would be... So if they ever make a Xenoverse 3, which, considering they're planning on releasing some more DLC this year for it, makes me think probably a ways off from Xenoverse 3. But if they ever do decide to make a Xenoverse 3, I'd be... that's the kind of thing I would want to see in it. In the meantime, though, I shall enjoy Tenkaichi Budokai 4, or whatever it's called. Shining Spirits? Well, I forget, was that what the new one's called? I see an ether thing. Like, I'll play that when it comes out. There aren't really any other anime games coming out that I've got any interest in sadly. There's no One Piece game on the horizon. There's no... I kind of want to play the Naruto game. Did that come out? That might have come out, actually. You know the Naruto where they kind of remixed and remastered Naruto a Hero, but like added some bits and cut out some filler bits and stuff, and it just like retells the whole story of Naruto. Like, I'm kind of interested in that game, but I don't actually want to play it. It's a confusing bit of cognitive dissonance with that one. I think there is a Bleach game coming out. I used to friggin' love Bleach. And I just, like, do not care for Bleach anymore. Like, the ending of that series was such a... just, like, completely killed any enthusiasm I have for the series. Like, there was a point when Zaraki was, like, one of my favourite characters, and now I just don't care. Despite that, Grimjaw Jagajak will still be one of my favourite anime character names to say. And there's no changing that. Jack and Julius and Euless. Sorry, not Julius. Pronouncing your name wrong. We arrived just before you did, and too late. Too late for what? What's happened? It's Lord Quintus. He took his own life. After the news about the 10th, he relieved of our duties, then when he was alone, he... No, he wouldn't. He said that suspicious gun he had on his counter with one bullet in it was for decorative purposes. Thancred and the others, assisted by the soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course shall the legatus be afforded a proper burial. He released us from our duty. He wanted us to be free to choose our own fate. Without him to guide us, I have just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to commence the transfer of the refugees here to Camp Broken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. Some would rather die, but most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned, we just want to live. Alright, well, we'll save the ones who want to live, kill the ones who want to die. Everyone's happy. We'll need to speak with the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they wish to come with us. If any would prefer to stay, we can have supplies brought over for them. It will be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see they reach our camp safely. Again, can we not just turn the Aetheryte on and have them teleport over? Like, they were talking about that with the terminal and stuff, weren't they? I mean, maybe that's why we turn it on. Ay, caramba. They're playing the sad music again. Alright, First Legion soldier, you stay out here holding your shoulder. How did you get injured? Like, what did... there was nothing happened to you. Theodora, do you still not want to talk to me? You still... I do hope the Ilzabad contingent actually makes some kind of difference around here. Oh, okay, he's willing to talk to me now. That's character development. That character went from just dotting me to actually talking to me now. Good stuff, good stuff. Hey, do any of you want to play Triple Triad? Is this a bad time to ask? Alright, Sabini Anus. It was only ever a dream, wasn't it? Do you think we could reclaim it, build it all ourselves? Before this all began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. If there's a chance I might see them again, I'll take it. So take me with you, please. Alright, that's one. Alright, Kiso. Well, they've got the Aetheryte sorted in the end. Once there was a few adjustments, and now it works as well as it ever did. From what I can tell, the one in Laterum is also functioning as normal. That's where you lot are staying, isn't it? Now that most of us are packing up and leaving this place, I reckon there'll be more use for me and my skills over at your camp. Oh. Hey, I can attune. Excellent. Boosh. There we go. No more running across the friggin' world. That's you, the one who treated me with such kindness. I heard from the others that you're not from around here. I thought you were one of us. Not that it makes much difference now. Purebloods, migrants, savages. After a while, the words start to lose meaning, till all you're left with is anger and fear and hate, and I'm too tired. If you and yours have come to offer aid, I'll be glad to accept. Ooh, king crab cake. Nom nom nom. But no, I have no time for your king crab cake. I do wonder, like, the ones that have got quest markers above them, I assume they'll stay here, because... Oh, yeah. I assume they'll stay here because, the quest marker needs to stay, I guess. We have much to discuss. Our rescue, the attack on Camp Broken Glass, what we'd hoped to talk about with Quintus. But all of that can wait. More urgent matters demand our attention. Are any of the refugees willing to come to our camp? Thank the 12. Thank the 12. You and I should go first and secure the route back to Camp Broken Glass. With all the creatures and tempered skulking about, I expect we'll have our hands full. This should come in handy. Conqueror's Chain, quarters of our Liminson friends. I'd save it for the tempered, though. I'll mark a few points that need surveying on your map. Once you've taken care of the riffraff, we'll meet back at our camp. Oh, can't we just... Oh, I was really hoping we would just be able to Aetheryte them back. Fine. Let's go and kill some monsters and clear out a path, I suppose. I was thinking, oh, we'll be able to finish before 2 AM. This will give me my headpiece, though, so I will have my, Oh, hey, they got a chocobo keeping stuff here now. And I need to do your quest at some point. Man, they got quite a few people around here now that they're... Hang on, isn't that... Alright. You go away. Quite hard hitting. Yeah, it wasn't... I can't talk to you, but weren't you one of the tappers? Why can't I go through those gaps? They're clearly big enough for me. Finish before 2 AM, huh? Well, it was maybe a little bit optimistic of me, I suppose. It's my fault for starting at not at 10:30, I guess. But I had a headache, and I was debating not streaming at all today. I'm glad that I did, though. This was a fun little series of missions. I mean, not fun, but... There are peaks and troughs sometimes with Final Fantasy XIV, where you'll play for an entire evening and do like 5 or 6 quests, and it really doesn't feel like you've accomplished a whole lot. Like, as much as I enjoyed Shadowbringers, the bit where you're the bit with the fairies and the people who like doing missions for people, and the that like entire map where you're just running around and doing like little odd jobs and you pick up Oriange, that was just a slog. That like really dragged on longer than it needed to. The bit with the bird was okay, with the way you meet the companion of Ardbur. All of the trauma and dead children has been entertaining, right? Like, it's, you know, it's not nice, but it's plot. It just feels like we've actually been doing something rather than, like, filling time. There are certainly, like, certain stretches of missions that just feel like padding. It's why I always make the joke about we will do exactly 3 quests for these people to earn their trust. Can I not? Wait, what happened? Did I beat that guy? Oh, I got to use the Conqueror's Chain. I was wondering why. I did wonder why. He gave me that. There we go. Yeah, and it also felt like we did we did a whole little pocket of missions which ends, you know, that we've kind of resolved. It's not like, oh, let's find out next week what's going to happen to the first Legion. That's what Legion we're on. I love that you just sort of sit ahead in places where you know I'm going to have to go to. It's nice. It's like you're like a big chickeny beacon. But yeah, Strauss, it's been a little while. Did you see all of the stuff from the Tokyo Fan Fest a couple of weeks back? I mean, I assume you have by now. But, Pictomansters, Beastmasters, 2 Dies, Female Hrothgars, I've heard people calling them. Isn't it an exciting time to be a Final Fantasy fan? I have not, but I know. Okay. I will say, I have watched a couple of fan fests now, And they do seem like the sort of things where you can kind of... You can just skip them, and you can read, like, a summary. You just basically, if you watch the trailer and then read a summary after the fact, it probably wouldn't take you more than 10 minutes to sort of cover everything that's covered. Oh, hang on. I'm ignoring this guy because normally I can. Like, yeah, there's a lot of, like... not necessarily, like, filler, but there's a lot of... No, it's filler. 10 minutes of the FanFest was just going through and showing the races and how they will look in... once Dawn Trail comes out, and it's like... Yeah, I get it. The textures are slightly improved. You don't have to show every gender of every race. Ah, there you are. As expected, I ran into a few beasts who went down without much of a fight. The Tempered proved somewhat troublesome, but those chains should keep them under control until our allies take them into the custody. Now that taken care of, I'm to gather a few supplies and then return to the station. While I see to that, would you mind apprising Lucia of our progress? As it happens, I have some rather pertinent information from our recent scouting forays, but I'll save that for later. First things first and all that. Alright, well, let's turn this into Lucia, and then we'll call it a night. And then, yeah, next week, we will assault the Tower of Babel. Yes, I think we're 2 quests away from the Tower of Babel, so... Ah, Jack. I was informed by Quintus's suicide. Informed of Quintus's suicide. It must have come as a great shock to his men. What are the refugees? I am told some were receptive to our proposal, but I would hear your first-hand account. I mean, all the ones I spoke to were. And so many did not hesitate to accept proves how desperate their situation has become. We'll do our best to make them feel welcome. The troops that participate in the ambush are no exception. They will be afforded the same treatment as any other refugees. Perfidy notwithstanding. After all, even if I wanted to make an example of them, there's no one left to learn from it. We will tell our allies that these soldiers were acting under the direct orders of their legatus, and that following his suicide they offered a full and unconditional surrender. Perhaps Quintus thought that had he lived, he would be tried as a war criminal, and his men punished with him. Perhaps, by taking his own life, he hoped to absolve them of any culpability. Or perhaps, like too many others, he was the true believer to the end. It's like a little of one column, little from column A, little from column B, I think. Who can say? I didn't know the man or his heart. His reasons, noble or otherwise, died with him, and it falls to us to clean up the mess. And there we go. And with it, I have my head coffer, and my Almasty Surge Hat of Casting, which looks... Is that actually better than my... It is. Look at me. This honestly isn't a bad look. I am excited to be able to wear sunglasses with a top hat, though. I see you're still wearing your Christmas costume. Yeah, it's that time again, is it? Is it the man? Yeah, it is. If I go into group pose, we'll be synced up. There we go. Once again, the best way to end a stream. Just doing the Mandeville Mambo. This truly is... The Mandeville stuff is the best emotes. I really hope... I haven't looked up anything about the Hildebrand quests for Endwalker, but I really hope you get another Mandeville emote at the end of them. I look forward to discovering the new classes when they get added. I don't want to see them, I want to try them. I do know what you mean. Like, it's like... I'm kind of interested in the Pictomancer, but I don't really want to watch loads of videos of people like playing through all of the playing as the classes, because it does. I don't really get anything from like watching videos of people playing as them. I want to play as myself to see whether I like them. I mean, I'm gonna stick with the Red Mage probably. I think Red Mage is kind of my... Red Mage is going to be my main class, but I want to build up Samurai as well. I do quite like Samurai, I just haven't leveled it. It really annoys me that the level skip items that you can buy from the store skip the class quests as well, because I wish there was like an option, because I'd happily level up and then do the class quests, but it's one or the other, and I don't want to skip the class quest because I want to know about the Samurai Trainer and stuff. I look forward to you playing through the new Mandeville stuff. So do I. It's been a while because Shadowbringers didn't have any Mandeville stuff. I'm also very happy to learn that Dawn Trail also has Mandeville quests. I think I remember them saying that they skipped it in Shadowbringers because they thought people would be bored of it, and then they didn't expect people to like be so vocal about them skipping it. So I think they've kind of just acknowledged now that Hildebrand is an essential component of Final Fantasy XIV, and that he will be in every expansion and patch, which is the way it should be. Which is the way it should be. Last quest came out 2 days ago. It was glorious. I'm looking forward to doing it. I'll probably go through, the same as I did before, do all the Endwalker stuff, all the post-patch right up until the end of the post-patch stuff, and then do all of the Mandeville quests, either in one stream or over 2 streams, depending on how long the quests are, so that they can kind of all like bunch them together. But yes, I will make sure to get everything done before Dawn Trail comes out. Like at the bare minimum, I want to do all of Endwalker, all of post-Endwalker, Hildebrand's quests, and Tartaru's quest. And I also want to check out the resort that you unlock for completing the Endwalker main quest. Like that seems like it would be... That seems like it's fun. A bit grindy, like I've heard people having to set up macros to pick up rocks or something, but, you know, cool, either way. I do believe New Game Plus does have the class quests. Oh, okay, so I guess I could skip them and then New Game Plus them for the content. Maybe if they go on sale. Because, yeah, it's just leveling classes is just... It's just kind of dull. But I also appreciate that, like... Skipping to like level 90 means that you don't know how to play the class properly. But also, if I skip to level 90, I can set up my bar perfectly and then learn how to play the class at level 90, because once I've got all my abilities unlocked. Anyway, it's a consideration for another day. The island is fun. Yeah, I was disappointed when it came out. I was looking forward to playing it, and then it's like, oh, you have to have completed the quest Endwalker. And I was like, ah, dang it, that's like a year away at least. I was like in the middle of Stormblood when the island came out, and it's like, oh, dang it. But, you know, a few more months, and we'll be there. So, like I said, let's call it a night there with being my favourite chicken man. Doing the mambo dance. So we've got... Man, there's still a lot of Endwalker left. We've still got 66... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 71 quests be an Endwalker to go. Though we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 quests today. So there weren't any massively long cutscenes in any of these quests today. Just a couple of ones, like with Alphinaud and Alphinaud held up in a storage container or wherever they were being held. So maybe 71 quests won't take us as long as I think it will. Although that's just to get to the end of Endwalker. There's still the post-Endwalker quests, which is like another 80 quests. As a patch for the total of there's only 44 quests in the post-Endwalker. That's quite small, isn't it? What was post-Shadowbringers? There's 51. I guess it's not that much shorter. I guess it just sounds like not very much. Anyway, that's hopeful that I will be able to get on top of Endwalker before Dawn Trail comes out without having to do like a 12-hour stream or something to catch up or something. Anyway, we'll call it there. I won't be no stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's my games night, but I'll be back on Friday. I'm going to be playing some Pal World, which I'm very excited about. We're going to be shooting some Pokemon with some guns. So yeah, I'm very excited to try this game out. I've had this game on my wish list for like 3. I feel bad. I've had it on my Steam wish list for like 3 years. And then they went, oh yeah, it's coming to Games Pass on Xbox. It's like, great, I'm gonna play it on Games Pass. So we're gonna play Power World. We're gonna shoot some Pokemon, and I'm gonna become the Pal Master. I don't know what the equivalent in the Power World is. Power World, it won't release on PS5. No, PS5 doesn't have an early access program. Like Xbox does. So it will probably come out on PS5 when it leaves early access. But unfortunately you won't be able to play the early access version of it, unfortunately. But you'll be able to play the finished complete version. So doubtful. You got Ark eventually, I think. Yeah, you got Ark. Did you get Ark? Ark PS5. Yeah, Ark's on PlayStation. That came out on that had an early access period on Xbox, and then so yeah, you just gotta wait for the early access period to finish. From what I'm reading, from sort of early impressions of Power World, it's very good. So I think it coming out of early access isn't a pipe dream. Let's put it that way. Yeah. All right. Well, let's finish there. Ark is scary, angry, scaly doggos. Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying it was an early access game that I want cute floofs. I'd say play Temtem, but I tried playing Temtem and I didn't think it was very good. So I can't recommend Temtem, honestly. It's one of those games where I feel like playing it over the course of early access when they kept like releasing new islands and expansions, it was probably okay, because you'd be like, well, I'll play it, get to the end of the current content, and then I'll wait 4 or 5 months for the next island to come out, and then I can then play this next island for like 10 hours, and then wait for the next content to come out. But now that the game's finished and it's out, it's now like, oh, I'm playing 10 hours and I'm on one island, because they had to like make the content sufficient enough. Like basically the pace of the final version is really bad because they did it in early access. They really need to go back and like prune some of the content to make it a bit more. It just drags too much. Like me and my friend were playing through it in co-op, and we did an entire evening, which was 4 hours, and we didn't leave. The entire time it was spent going back and forth through this friggin' mine, And we're like, we didn't catch any new Temtems. We didn't go anywhere. We didn't do anything other than, like, we were doing the story, but it just felt like such a drag, and we dropped it. So, yeah, I can't recommend Temtem. But it's fine. You don't have to play Power World. You can come and watch me play it, and you can experience the wonder of Power World through me, which is as good as playing it. Anyway, thanks for watching if you did. Have a good night, everyone. I will see you Friday. And, bye.